And don't mind me, I always get nervous when I do these things. It doesn't matter how many times I do it. I'm always freaked out.
Yeah.
I imagine you are too, though. This is probably your first time being on something, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd say probably first time on the podcast.
It doesn't get easier. If people ask you to do it after this, it doesn't get any easier. Actually, I would love for you to be on more. I must say that, man. I am really always impressed by your TikToks, your Tremors TikToks, because they are legit. Not only are they funny, but it's like Zoran Gavojic, where they're funny, but then really informative on what you're doing with the series. I think the one that went most viral, that might be my most favorite too, is that Fairly Odd Parents one with the girl and the Shrieker, and she rips up the old version of the Shrieker because the new one's there, and then but with the Shrieker sound too. And
I was so worried because I know people like the practical effects, but the new Shrieker design, it was good.
I agree.
I love that they got it back finally. How are you gonna get rid of the original Shrieker?
I know, man, right? Shriekers are actually my favorite of the creatures, I must admit. Because I came into two. Tremors Aftershocks was the first one I saw, so Shriekers are definitely my favorite. And I'm with you on the... Man, they came back. I was so pumped for that movie, too. It's partly why I might hate it so much. And to that point, they're in a grand total of 2 scenes. It's called Shrieker Island, but we spend a lot of focus on that one. The Mother Graboid is coming, which also doesn't make sense. Which doesn't make sense because, oh my god, I'm just not.
Shrieker Island.
Shrieker Island. No Shriekers. Just some grab. And what makes me mad now that I'm thinking about it, the logistics, when Graboids turn into Shriekers, they all do it at the same time. Or around the same time. Mm-hmm. So to have Shriekers and Graboids going at this is now I'm even more mad. Sorry, my brain just was hold on, wait a second. It's called Shrieker Island, and there's Graboids and Shriekers happening at the same time. But I really do love the design. Actually, that's my whatever logistics of it. That skull and crossbone face is really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Yeah, and it manages to keep the 3 pierced mandible. I'm looking at it as your picture or whatever. It's what I hate about the Ass Blaster redesign. It's you can't get rid of that mandible. I'll buy honestly, I really don't mind the Graboid redesign either, because Stampede was partly going to do that anyway, and you can kind of tell you make it corkscrewy and make it zoom, drill through the ground, and you still got the mandibles at least, but that Ass Blaster just
that was a cursed item.
It's blurst item. Oh
but
man,
if you were to show that movie in Japan, I'm pretty sure it would have been censored.
Oh no. It's called an Ass Blaster, but it looks like a blasted ass.
Yeah.
For those of you in podcast land, you got to get the video part of this because it's disgusting.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So we'll call that partly an intro here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talking Tremors. I be your host, Levi Dylan Burzlaw-Flut. You already know a whole bunch about me. I've got someone really cool with me today, and we're going to be watching Graboid Rights, so if you're ready, get ready for that. But I got someone from a whole new sphere of Tremors. I've only since started discovering it recently. The starter of Tremors TikTok. We have the TikTok Graboid, Daniel Trujillo. Sorry, I should have asked your name first.
Trujillo. It's alright.
Trujillo? What was that?
Trio.
There we go. See, this is what I mean about being podcasting is a thing that you learn along the way. Like, where I've read your name so many times or whatever, and oh, wait, yeah, that's how I say it. And I'm like, oh, shit, I should actually ask. Because my name looks crazy as fuck, too, so you're probably like, Levi, but girl, love.
I know, right?
I don't blame anybody. But yeah. Sorry. This guy right here, if you don't know about it, like I said, go to your freaking phones right now. Stop this podcast. Download TikTok. Go to Tremors TikTok. Check out the Tremors talk that's happening. This dude, I can't... I should ask, how long have you been doing the Tremors TikTok? Like, when did that really start for you?
Man, I can't even... I would have to go through some of my videos. I think it was 2020 or maybe 2019 when I started on TikTok. I didn't know what I wanted to do at first because there's plenty of stuff on TikTok. And I thought, you know what? I'd have never seen anything that's Tremors. And so my first video was just me recording my TV with Bert shooting the Shrieker, and the audio over it was the Dova King from Skyrim, and that got like a lot of likes. And I'm like, okay, this did really well, so I'm gonna keep trying that.
I haven't seen that one. Now I got to keep scrolling further. I haven't got back to that one yet. Now,
yeah.
Oh man.
That was my first one. After that, I just posted random things. I would post video games and cosplay. But after a while, I stopped and deleted it.
I was gonna say I haven't seen. That's where I was like, I haven't seen that. So I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, it's the first one I posted at the very beginning when I started over. So you can find down the very bottom.
Okay. But the rest, you deleted all of your cosplay and normal human stuff.
Yeah. Well, I saved them, but yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, I hope so. That was why I was sad. I hope so. But you just decided, oh, I'm gonna just Tremors it up. You saw there was a need, and you went for it. Cool. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited to get into the rest of this episode. I'll be asking you way more questions too, Daniel. But if you've got Graboid rights pulled up,
let me I don't. Oh, whoops! Oh, wait.
it's all good. I actually, oh man, the episode I recorded last week. I had forgotten to be like, oh, hey, yeah, we're going to watch it. And the guy I was watching it with actually hadn't watched Tremors the series before. So it was like, oh, shit, I need to, like, figure out a way to stream it to you. Got it to happen. And I was like, I'm going to leave this 10 minutes, 15 minutes in here of just, like, us, like, fucking up. And, oh, no, shit, damn it, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. Nope, all right, keep going. Because we got it in the end.
Yeah.
As you know, like, Tremors, doing what you can with what you got.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing with my phone.
I know, right?
Because if you go back, you can see where everything is changed with making videos.
I was gonna say, I've noticed you've been posting less. It looks like it's harder to do.
Yeah, it's been pretty hard.
It gets hard when Universal shits on it, and you're like, man, I don't know what's going to happen with Tremors. I don't know what's going on.
By the way, are you able to get the background of this?
Yes! You know, I was thinking about, actually, the music was part of what I had to think about talking about, whereas I halfway like the music in all these episodes. I know that the Stampede people would have preferred something different, but this is one of those times where like, oh, I don't know, this works in the end. I don't know if it's exactly right. There could have been a lot better, but also like, these weird twangy things.
That's what I liked about the soundtrack for the series, because like it was like for it. Like definitely when it's like made for it.
Oh yeah.
I can't see any other type of music for the series.
It works. Like I'm always like, hey, this is really catchy. I always like, singing along to it. Like I said, just what I was doing. Whoever was writing that score had watched the previous Tremors and had really nailed that down. Twangy, because there should be. I really feel like it's country rock. I'm not a huge country person, but I have to admit that Tremors has that country music vibe to it. But it's also got some rock to it. That's where it's the Universal ones get it a little wrong because they go rock with it all the way. Like, I don't know. This is a little more country than you realize it is here. Like that one song at the beginning of 5 when Jamie Kennedy is riding around on the dirt bike. I got my blood sacrifice. Are you ready to watch Tremors die? It doesn't fit the tone.
Yeah.
That though, sorry, I can just hear it there in the background, and that one.
I'm wondering, like, is this gonna affect the podcast? Dang it.
That's all right. Honestly, it's all part of the audio. I can mix it down and stuff too. So as long as it's a little bit down and not overpowering your voice, we're pretty good.
Let's see if I can find my headphones. Then I can probably mute it a little better.
Again, I'll work with whatever. And this is Podcast Land, people. We leave this in here. This is what makes it fun and organic. No podcast is like, I am a robot. We went from point A to point Z. Mm-hmm. Toot toot. I've been watching a lot of Stargate Atlantis lately, and I love because they have the 0 point module, and most people call it a ZPM, but then there's that one character that calls it a ZPM because he's Canadian, and he doesn't repeat. Like it's a great character thing in the end because Rodney he always calls it a ZPM. You're like, that's just so dumb, but I like it. I appreciate that continuity of character.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it.
Well, it's, like I said, you're all good, man. I will work with it. And, whenever you're ready, let me know. So I've watched this in the background a whole bunch. Like I said, I had my nephew, and I was feeding him and stuff, and he just keep going. Really, I did not like this episode when it started, and after the 10th time through, I really like this episode. It's got some weird things about it.
Yeah.
It is. It's a strange beast.
There we go.
As we'll get into, I still don't know who's right or wrong in all this. I still don't. Actually, there's a question I keep asking everybody in it. Like, is Bert right, wrong, or lucky in most of the situations he's in? And it's always just a big combo of all three.
Yeah.
I can never...
He's definitely lucky.
Oh, yeah. And he's right, but he's also wrong. I really am... Like, damn, man. This one, though, I feel like Bert is like 10,000% in the right. This is the weird, like that. But I also get what the protesters end up talking about here too. But
oh yeah,
Bert was right. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm halfway ready if you are, Daniel. I got my Xbox controller. Yep. Okay, on the count of 3, we press play. So if you're listening, that's also what you do too. Get Graboid rights, pull it up, and we press play in 1, 2, 3. Tremors, the TV show where you can learn how to make a bomb on screen. I know that's not this episode.
What those were.
I was also thinking, I want a disposable shovel. Or, not a disposable, but a foldable shovel. That's so cool. Sorry, I know it's just dumb. I just keep thinking that. Damn, man. Because you just carry it. You know, so many times I need a shovel when I'm in the woods or something. Boom.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. And feel free, as we go through, make fun of it your own self. This person... Okay, so I fucking hate this person so much. I wish he would get eaten.
Like, who shovels... Like, you're in Graboid.
And you're not wearing your Seismo? I love that the hat falls off. It's always... You can never run with a hat on. It's always got to fall. Except for Burt Gummer. Burt never loses his hat now that I think of it. Oh, he doesn't. And these are great. There's a great behind-the-scenes video of the Tremors the Series stunts. And I love the practical on this. This actually really works.
I love that there's so much practical in this.
Oh yeah. Like, they use the CGI like you're supposed to in those moments. Like, 412 running. That's my biggest one that I think of. It actually works, but it's a monster running, so you kind of got to CGI that.
Yeah.
It was actually something that I was always making sure I do the... You got to read Seeking Perfection before... I always got to read it before every episode, just to make sure. And Steve Wilson was talking about you can't use practical all the time, so if you're going to do a CGI creature, you got to make one that works. That's why they came up with the ghost monster.
That's why so many movies, like Jurassic Park, was so well.
That's why I love 4 is when you use practical and then combine it with CGI and you don't even notice it. This, I noticed the CGI. I don't notice the CGI in 4. I'm always so impressed by that. And I just can't stop thinking how I wish this person had gotten eaten.
Even Bert was like that too. It's like, I saved her life.
Yeah, and nothing. Like, there's... I noticed at the end of this episode, there's a bit of a Fast and the Furious thing that happens where, Jason Statham shows up to the picnic at the end after killing Han, where, like, she just starts like, they're literally, like, arresting, the one guy for doing all the illegal activities, and she confesses, and then they're just like, oh, yeah, we gotta have a montage of, helping out each other, and she's in there. I'm like, I feel like she should be arrested right now. Like, she shouldn't be helping. I need to take screenshots of all these. I love these signs. Somebody had fun with the signs.
Yeah.
That's something I always give credit to the because it really wasn't Stampede making this. Besides Brett Maddock down there, like, the people actually filming really loved Tremors and loved all that stuff, because the background shit is always really, really good. There's a lot of good work in costuming, in props, in set, everything. Like, it's cheap as hell, but they're bringing their A game. It costs nothing to do those little posters, put, like, different paint on them. But I love them. I do. It's so cool. It adds to it. Like I said, I love this. I can't. Okay, so I don't even have sound, and I can still hear. Listen to the talking tremor. Oh man. I gotta ask. So, do you think that these people are right?
Yeah, I think Graboids should have rights, because it's just like another animal, a dangerous one that you probably shouldn't be in its habitat. But I think they're right to protect the El Blanco and other Graboids. Well, I'm not sure about other Graboids, because they can still turn into triggers.
No, I agree. He's an endangered animal. I don't think the people of Perfection are hurting him too much, but
no.
I think he should definitely, we should care and love him. Again, actually, from the book, I love that another idea that Michael Gross had for this episode, or an episode like this, was El Blanco gets sick and he has to, physically care for him, and he's, reading him stories and lullabies and stuff. Which I'm all for that. I am so fucking for that.
I could definitely see that.
People, ever since, if you're watching this podcast, I hope you know what happens at the end of Tremors 7. But ever since that happened, and people are like, oh yeah, well, Michael Gross is getting old, and he can't do Tremors anymore. I'm like, So, did we completely forget that acting doesn't require you running around all the time?
Right? I don't want him to get, because like when they were doing Tremor 7, there was a thing he posted on his Facebook that he did get hurt. I'm like, be careful.
Yeah. Come on, man. Getting hurt doing that last fucking thing too. Like, what a fuck you. I don't mean like fuck you from Michael Gross. I mean like, come on. Like he got hurt on his last scene and everything. What a metaphor for that poor man.
I think it's weird how this guy brainwashed Mindy to believing that they're hurting El Blanco.
There's this guy on Twitter, Arcade Wrestling Guy. If you happen to be listening on our podcast, I remember what you said, and he was very like, this is a weird, like this is one character shift here that's really like, okay, what the fuck happened? I would love a little more agency. And maybe there's a part of me like, what if Ariana Richards like had this part? But it's also like, I don't know. She's sleeping with her professor and doing this.
I know. Yeah, that was the weirdest part. Yeah.
And it's not meant to be good. Like they do shine that light on it of like this isn't exactly like right or whatever. But it's also like come on, okay. And on that. Which Mindy do you prefer? Ariana Richards or Tinsley Grimes? I had to make sure to write her name down.
Tinsley's the one from the first one, right?
No. Tinsley is this one. Ariana Richards is from 1 and 3.
Okay, yeah, that one, yeah.
Jurassic Park girl. That's always.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not great with other people's names.
No, that's why I said I had to write. I was like, oh, what's this one's name? Ah, shit, I can't remember. Okay, IMDb, Tinsley Grimes. Thank you so much. Oh my god, he says pink of health? I always thought he was saying peak of health. That Graboid is in the peak of health. He says pink of health. That's my subtitles, folks. Super important. Really. But again, I wish that scientist had gotten eaten at the beginning. I'm so mad that she lied about all this. Like, there's a level of what you just said where it's like, hey, you could, like, let's treat El Blanco a little bit better and be nicer to him that you could do with your science, but instead you poisoned him!
Right? It was, yeah.
So, on the which is better, do you like this Nancy or Charlotte Stewart Nancy from 1 and 3?
Charlotte Stewart.
Oh, see, for me, man, it's this Nancy. I don't know.
It took me a while to even realize that was her from part 2. I'm like, when I finally realized, I'm like, geez, it tremors.
It's the mom from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But yeah. So why do you like Charlotte Stewart more then? That's my.
Well, mostly Jurassic Park and also Tremors. Like the only 2 movies I know she's in.
That's fair. Honestly, I can't judge this one because I feel so bad that she's got this poor script on her almost, or at least this part of the script. Like I feel she gets let down by it on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else about this episode works. That part, you're like, damn, man. I'm glad she gets a little agency at the end to like say fuck off to that one. Chad is a douchebag too. I haven't said that part. I wrote a specific note. Chad is a douche. Seriously, fuck that guy. I had to just say it out loud. It's like one of my first notes. Oh! Oh, man. So this is why I don't like the protesters. I have a whole...
Yeah, this is going too far.
I have they have a point, and I'm into that. But this, nope. Nope. Nobody,
there's no way
nope.
that was one person.
No, that's not one person either. Like that, I don't. having done my fair share of TPing and all that jazz, that's not one person.
But honestly, if Bert was there, that there has definitely been conflict right there.
Oh no! Oh, he like oh. And now I bet Bert put cameras up after that.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if he's had them before. Now that I'm thinking about it, no, because he doesn't have. I bet he put cameras up after that. Like, he wouldn't be thinking about it like that. He's more worried about the Graboid threat, but I bet after that he put up cameras. But, so I really don't... There's a very visceral response every time I see what they do to Bert's place there.
The fact that this guy tried moving into her house and all this stuff.
And he's in here at the end, too! I was actually, he's eating his little, chips and sitting there and reading a book. Or practicing his speech, and I was like, "Get the fuck out!" Oh no! And that he's so like I said, I can't say it enough. This guy is a douche. Seriously, fuck him. Him and the scientist lady, and I'm just so out of it on. The guy that actually gets eaten, I feel bad for. He feels like he just got pawned. I don't know.
Yeah,
caught up in.
He got the bad end of it.
Yeah. I mean, he's still fucked up, but I feel bad for him. If these guys had gotten eaten, I wouldn't. So, if you prefer those Mindys, which Nancy do you prefer? Of the moms, which Nancy do you prefer? The one from this one from the TV show, or the one from the movies?
I think. Oh man. Well, this one actually does a lot compared to the movies.
Oh, I know.
I kind of like both of them from the third and the series. Only because they do so much for their daughter and they help so much with imperfection.
After Bert, for me, it's Nancy is one of the most important people in perfection. Really.
Yeah.
She's been there since the first movie. Actually, yeah. I was just saying that to someone on Facebook where I get so mad when in 6 they pull into perfection, that the tax guy pulls in, and there's no town.
Yeah, I was like, where's the town? Where is it?
There's not even...
It's not the same location.
Okay, so check this out. As we're watching this episode, there are trees in the background of shit. I didn't realize how green everything is in this series. But I mean, I don't blame them. Actually, Steve Wilson on the Stampede site is always, when he gets questions, that's always one what's the direction of perfection and where does things go and stuff. And they've switched it up so many times because of wherever they move to that nobody really knows. It's caught in a temporal loop or whatever. But there are trees in the background. I wanted to point it out. There are totally trees in the background. But that wasn't my point. So the location changes, but there's nothing in the town. There's just Changs in 6. It drives me nuts. There's not even a water tower.
Nope.
Really, the water tower is the biggest, okay, so you guys are telling me that in the middle of a desert, you guys just decided to take down your source of collecting water?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Boo. And then, on that point, they tore down Nancy's house. That was what I was getting to. It was she's super duper important. She's in 1, she's in 3, she's in all these episodes. And what did Universal do? Hey, look, let's take a bulldozer. Let's take the cat.
Just remove the whole town.
Just gone. I gotta say, Twitch, was the worst career move, bad PR, and it's my ass. He's getting some real characterness in this episode. I love it. When he sleazes up to the guy later, doing his job. Twitchell?
Yep.
Breath mints. Ooh.
It's probably the only episode I like where he's doing good.
No, he's really. That's what I mean. Twitchell's on this episode. And there's a moment later where Bert is investigating shit with El Blanco, and in a normal show, the federal agent would tell the guy to like stop or whatever, but Twitch was like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and you just keep investigating, and you keep doing your thing or whatever." It's like, "Oh, that's good. You know what's happening. That's good, man." Oh man. And this is, again, now that I'm thinking about it, there's no like running for anybody in this episode. They're all just acting and talking. It's kind of why I ended up like watching it over and over again. I was getting more character stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the Bert Nancy antagonism is one of my favorite things of this series.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but part of what they planned for season 2 was they wanted to have those two meet via online relationship. They would have been like,
oh no,
like texting each other, doing the online dating thing, and then met up, and then found out they were like into each other. Which I don't know how that would play out, but I would watch the fuck out of it, man.
Definitely, that would have been great.
I know. And I see it here too, where you can like see like these two are like having a whole tete-a-tete through this whole season with each other, exchanging beliefs. I always think of it like he's the sun and she's the moon, you know, and they're doing their thing back and forth in the sky. Yeah, now I'm really thinking, this is all just acting. That's why I like this episode. Oh, I'm just putting it together. I was trying to figure it out. Like, it's just, the Mindy thing is the worst part about the script. Everything else I'm totally into here. And this is actually one of the rare episodes of this that's written by another person, Christopher Silber. It was reading it. He was talking about, oh yeah, he had to do it do a rewrite in a long weekend because they just like called him up and they're like, oh hey, like the sci-fi people were like, oh hey, we want you to like do this episode, we like it, but we want it now. So that and him and Brett Maddox just had to go back and forth all weekend. He said it like broke him down too. It's like, oh, that's good. So 9 out of 10 on the script ain't bad, is what I was saying. Like, he gets a win for me.
Yeah.
See, so how do you think the Valley should be used and treated?
Oh man, like I think they should definitely put. Well, I don't know, because El Blanco can't sense when something's in front of him. Like, sure, he stops when he's in front of Bert's house, but oh man, I would say like put barriers around your homes, but you could end up killing El Blanco in the process.
Oh yeah.
That. Give like, dude, it's honestly kind of hard to do it without hurting El Blanco.
I assume that's they talk about keeping him at bay to dig the well, like that costs money to do because you can't have him messing around all that equipment, jackhammers and shit happening.
Oh man, can you imagine if they found oil imperfection? Yeah, that'd be really bad.
See, and they won't find oil. They'll find graboids. I'm always waiting. Like, there's got to be that angle of like, oh yeah, the lab or whatever that happened here. They knew about graboids. They fucking knew, man. Somebody said something. I know Hiram told the people we're not gonna say anything, but somebody slipped. Somebody got drunk one night and said something. That's why all this weird shit happens in the same place. Oh, this is what I mean about this character thing happening. Sorry, I jump. Don't mind me. I always bring it back though. But Twitchell's characterness, yeah, man. Oh, poor guy. He's stuck. Get out, Twitch. Go get your 12-string guitar. So if you had to use the valley, would you let people in it? Would you just keep the tourism going, or would you push everybody else out?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I think I'd probably keep the tourism as long as like how was it Travis?
Tyler.
Tyler, there we go. It's a T.
It's. I was just gonna say that too.
Jeez. It's so hard because sure, there's people who actually go see wildlife, but nothing like El Blanco. It'd be hard to keep people alive with something like that.
And you gotta feed him too.
Yeah, the thing could sink cars.
Yeah.
So that's the bad part. And there's no way of safely traveling because he pretty much follows sound.
Yeah. See, that's where I don't know. Again, that's what I ask everybody this, and I don't think I've come to a clear idea myself.
I think no, it would be bad to keep tourism because, like with the sign that they have before entering perfection, it gets more people killed.
Yep. Damn tourists! I keep telling them to get rid of that sign. Does more harm than good. But also, I don't know, man. Freedom. This is my. If Jurassic Park exists, would you go to Jurassic Park? That's always my would you know?
Oh man.
You know.
That's another one.
That's what I mean. It's the same thing to me. Would you I mean, I'd love to, but I've watched enough Jurassic Park movies to know that that could be the one.
That's a bad idea.
That could be the one. That's the one weekend it happens. You know.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
All in one day.
24 hours, man. That's all it takes.
Each movie too. All it takes.
But for me, I think in the end, I think I would slowly be you have to push people out of living it. For me, research station, because they're. If there were dinosaurs, if there was a Jurassic Park, I wouldn't open it up to the public to come in. It would just be hey, let's do some science with this. This is cool.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end of that, I want a little baby dirt dragon to play with forever. You know?
I have a freaking stuffed Graboid.
Oh yeah! Oh. Everybody's always wanting one. That's always I see people all the time. I want a plushy Graboid. I want a soft Graboid. There was that Graboid in New Orleans. Someone knitted a Graboid and put it in a hole. No, seriously, that was what in the fuck? And they did it right before Burt Gummer Day too, and I was kind of okay. Thank you for the promotion. Oh, I love this bucket joke. Don't you guys gotta go to the bathroom? We got a bucket. Oh, and then this is so. Oh, there's a part of me that every time he does that, I can feel the sloshing. And I've been in enough outhouses where every time he dumps that, it's a visceral oh no, oh god, oh that hurt. But also, fuck you.
Too, because they're ruining his business.
No, but that's what I was just saying. But also, fuck you guys. I do have to say, Tyler is right. I keep coming to Tyler can be a little pervy throughout the series, honestly, he's more of a man. He's just being horny, every person should be, man or woman. You're free to be you. Just don't harass people like Jamie Kennedy does. But Tyler's right 95% of the time. I really love Tyler, and he's 100% right with this assessment here of well, the way we live our lives out here might seem strange to you, but we take care of that worm, protect him. And you know what? Sometimes it feels like he does the same for us.
Which he kind of has.
Oh, 412. That's always my one, like, that. Look at that. If he wanted to eat anybody in the market, he would have a long time ago. The only reason he doesn't in that one episode is he's getting... Melvin's machine is driving him nuts.
Yeah. I used to thought it was like a... I didn't know it was a machine that makes him go food hungry. Or a food frenzy.
Yep, a sound machine.
I thought it was something with sound.
Yep. No, well, it is a sound machine. It is a sound.
Yeah.
It's like they actually have them now, where it's the directional sound guns.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the... Ah! I'm too young, I hear the noise. Ah. They actually... I love the Stampede Entertainment site because they're always updating questions. And, oh my god, Steve... Actually, I just looked today. And Steve had answered some questions from like April 12th. And one of them about this series was like El Blanco. Like, what do you think would have ended up happening? And they had like... They were going to lean even more into the symbiosis angle. And like Jody was going to start like feeding him sandwiches outside of the window. You know?
Yeah.
Here you go. Boom, boom. I honestly think that El Blanco knows that the market brings tourists. Like he's like a raccoon.
Yeah.
And he knows the pattern of like, oh yeah, these people from far away come in and I eat them. I don't eat the people that are close though. I don't. Except for Bert. If that fucker's out on his own, I'm swallowing him.
Right. He definitely held a grudge on Bert in the third movie.
Oh, he has it in this too. Like the mobster episode. There's nothing he wants more than a piece of me. Come on, old Bronco! I knew you couldn't resist me. And on that note, like this is the only running we got. And I always like to point out, watch Michael Gross run. It doesn't look great. It's never looked great. We should never have Michael Gross running. There was no point to it. Dumbass. Just stand still. It's the one rule. But goodbye, not Buford. I love how people in the Facebook group are always like, oh, is that Buford from Tremors 3? Yes. It's the guy who was eaten first in Tremors 3. He came back from the dead, folks.
Right. Buford definitely had not a terrible death, but felt bad for him, definitely.
Oh, Buford in 3? Or this guy? Either one. Getting pulled down is bad. And again, the practical effects on that is freaking awesome. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Just dig a hole, let's wrap a guy up in some tentacles, and drag him down. And yeah, the angle too. And the sun! I always gotta point this out. So when you're watching these, they use the sun way too much to tell you what time it is.
I never noticed. I barely started watching it again.
Kevin Collins, on one of our episodes, I think it was the Blast from a Past episode, we were noticing it, and he was like, oh man, yeah. They do it a lot. But look at the trees! Oh my god! Look at those fucking trees right there! Those are full-grown deciduous trees in the middle of Nevada. Power to the Graboids! How exactly do you do that, ma'am? You know, and that's where it's like, hey...
How do you do that?
They have the power to eat you. They're good. They don't need your help to power them up. You know, it's not like feminism or equality. It's just gonna eat you, man.
Yeah.
God, and Bert is such a bad... like, just walking... Smooth talkers like Chad always need someone to do the dirty work. Just a badass. If I was a reporter, I'd be like, I want to pay attention to this guy. Fuck you, douchebag. Like, this is my man. Every time I see the outside of Nancy's house, like all those plants and those garden, like that's insane to have in the middle of the desert. And that the fact that she keeps it, and this is where I say the background people do a great job. The fact that she keeps that up and it's going like it is means a lot for her character in terms of being a tender person, a caring mother of the earth type.
Mm.
It's actually why I like this Nancy more, and I would love to see Charlotte Stewart do it now, or just a little like she is that hippie mom, and like really leaned into it, and I love it. It works against Bert's extreme opposite end of the spectrum on that. Oh, and the Graboid and the Shrieker games. Oh, and this joke too. Oh, it's $12.95 for the toast, and now you had butter. $14.95. $15 for toast. Shrieker dogs. I guess I gotta do some screenshots too, but take your time. And if you look in the background, they do some great stuff with props and shit. Actually, there's the movie rack in the background.
I would want so much of this stuff.
Oh yeah. The one I keep coming back to is the Ass Blaster Pinata. I say that in all the episodes.
There's an Ass Blaster Pinata.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
Okay.
So there's a movie rack on the wall, and I assume you remember what it was like to rent VHSs from Blockbuster and such. If not, then I just dated myself. I hope not. Oh God. What movies do you think people in Perfection rent? Like, what movies do you think Bert rents?
That's honestly a hard one because the movie's happening right outside their window and everything.
Like they're already living a movie. I don't need to watch it. I'm living it right now. And that guy and Twitchell in the background giving him the finger. Fuck you, little cocksucker. Yeah, Perfection is really green. Really green. Also, I was wondering, there's so many people in the background here. How many of these people actually got paid? I don't think... There's some of these people that just had to show up because they like Tremors. There's a whole bunch. It would cost a lot. It would cost a lot to pay all. I was just like, God damn. This is a ton of extras.
We'd have to think how much extras get paid.
Maybe I don't know. I thought it was like 100 a day or so. So that still seems like a lot. That's a lot of people. Oh, and Tyler. You know, I wish more Hicks were like Tyler. I don't know if that's like mean or anything. I'm from Iowa, and we have plenty of rednecks, and I'm friends with them, and there's actually one of them actually that is a good version of it. A great guy that I know that looks and sounds and acts like Tyler, and I love him. But the other 95%, I'm like, man, you guys should watch Tremors the series and be more like Tyler Reed. Man listens to science. He knows what's up. He helps the town. Also feel like you shouldn't be wearing so much white in the middle of the desert. Potassium permanganate. I gotta check. Yes, he said that earlier. So it's just the same thing. You were right, Bert. Bert was right again. Like I said, he's 10,000% right in this episode.
He knows his chemicals.
He knows his shit. All right, this is funny to point out too. So El Blanco pops out of the ground here. Oh no, scary! Actually, that was CGI. I thought that was practical.
I'm surprised he hasn't done that from the beginning when they started coming.
Like they've been I think part of that's the plot where he doesn't want to deal with anything. He was already like throwing up food and getting rid of it. As far as I know it too, Graboids don't like lots of sound. Like they do get drawn off by that, so perhaps all of the people jumping and moving. And again, I wish that guy had gotten eaten. But this is so okay. The Graboid is out of the ground. All right, we're all scared of it. We should be worried. We're gonna stop and talk to each other for the next 10 minutes.
Right?
No, seriously. Like I did. I was like watching this over and over again.
15.
Like they do. They just stand here. So half of them have their backs.
Graboid is dying.
They're not paying attention to it at all. It's just sitting there, but we don't care, I guess. They're doing all this stuff. The Graboid's back there. I'm going to be annoying about that. As you watch, Graboid's still back there. Graboid's still back there. I also love Twitchell's. You got some vandalism and pipe bomb making and some other stuff I'm going to make up. The Graboid is still back there. So I had to interject, but the Graboid is still back there.
He's just listening to everything.
Just, and you bitch! Like I said, feed her to El Blanco. That's the end of this episode. I want that to happen. Oh yeah, to prove your point, you give all scientists a bad name.
Oh man.
That
doesn't go poisoning wildlife.
It's like in the Night of the Shriekers episode when that one scientist lights up Bert's explosives or lights up his ammo and it flies off or whatever.
Oh, man.
I always go, I was with you up until you did that. Now you can fuck off. And I was with you, scientist lady, until you did that. Oh. And again, oh yeah, here's the list of stuff that you can use to make the antidote poison. I'll give it to you if you promise not to take me to jail.
She seriously should have been taken to jail.
She just, like, the cops are all right there. The camera's oh my god, that camera's trying to get the recipe.
He's still looking at it.
Finally, and still, nobody's reacting to El Blanco. He's still right there. Get out! Get out of this store! You should be in jail. And I mean this is an equality thing for me, where it's like, we were about to arrest the other guy for doing exactly that. She needs to go to jail, sir.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been part of this.
I get it, she's kind of cute, but that doesn't matter! Family size, big family. I love that joke. Small, medium, family size, big family. Get the fuck out! Sorry, I just keep seeing her helping, and I'm like, I get, like, Salud Mi Familia and Tremors is all about the family, but fuck her.
How do you even get him to swallow that with his tongues out?
The way they do it, you just have to hit that hole back there. They do it, like, that's my... having my nephew earlier and having to deal with babies all the time, you just pop it right back there. You gotta put a syringe in and whop, just hope it hits the hole.
What if the tiny mouths eat it? Does he get better?
No, I don't think those things aren't mouths. Actually, I always think of them. They're like fingers. That's how I've seen the Steve Wilson describe it, where they're meant to be, and Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff, where it's not a mouth exactly, it's just a finger.
Ugh.
And there's a weird, like, the NCAA thing that ended up coming back. Oh yeah, this softball. That was actually a plot point. I just said it offhand. What is this, Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World? It went in. Honestly, how does he know to swallow it? That's my, like...
Right?
Like, how do you get it? How does he know to let it go down? And that might be, maybe he trusts them. Actually, I should point that out. He comes up out of the ground right there for a reason. He knows the people can help him. He knows the townies would try to help him and not hurt him. That's pretty much proof of the symbiosis right there. Like, that he didn't try to eat anybody. He was like, I don't feel good. Would Bert give me a sandwich? I need some Tylenol.
Some Tums. A really big Tum.
That would make a good TikTok video. A Tums commercial with the hell block open.
Oh my god.
Also, I fell for a guy named Scarecrow. Wow. Holy shit, man. Alright. And then I think, too, if her and Bert would have got together, Bert and Scarecrow. Wow. What a combo there, Nancy. What kind of flavor ice cream do you like? Mint chocolate chip sherbet? I would totally take the Graboid tour, too. That's actually, I have to, as a question, would you take the Graboid tour? I would love to take the Graboid tour.
Oh, yeah. I would love to take the Graboid tour.
Like, just to... Because I know, I get, if they're doing it, you know you're not going to get eaten. There's plenty of, safeguards and stuff. Tyler has his stash of concussion grenades.
Tyler knows pretty much which path to take.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty safe way to go. As long as you listen to what they say.
Don't get off the Jeep. Like in that one, in the hit and run. Don't get up, mister! Don't get off the Jeep! Oh, man. Yeah. I was just now thinking how much fun it would actually just be if you had more than Graboids and Shrieker. Like, if they knew that there was different monsters and stuff and you could somehow take that to her. But see, now I'm thinking you couldn't take that to her and not die then. Damn it, man. The only way you can do it is with Graboids. Any other creature would be too dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, once you start, that's, as much as I love Shriekers, once you start adding those things, man, you're fucked.
Yeah, it gets pretty dangerous.
There's no... I really appreciate Bert's vigilance in that Shrieker episode. He's not 100% right in being so, hard on the Shriekers, but also, seriously, if they fucking get any kind of food and multiply, we're fucked. We're just fucked. And they do, man.
They're... like those ones that got hold of a chicken coop.
A truckload of chickens.
Oh, yeah, the truckload of chickens. One Shrieker. Or no, 3.
3 or 6. I don't know.
Because all they say in the movie is a Graboid was sighted and turned into Shriekers and got a hold of a truckload of chickens.
Yep. Actually, I think he does say 6 because it's 6 in that one, and then he messes up in 3 and 2 and says it's 3. It doesn't matter. Actually, I always think that it's between 3 and 6 Shriekers that pop out, depending on how much of the Graboid carcass they actually eat.
That's right.
I assume that's part of...
Thing, because there's nothing left inside the Graboid in the second movie, and that made me thinking, these guys are probably eating the insides of the Graboid. That's how they reproduce so fast. They start eating all of this mass.
Yep. It makes sense for, if it's...
It really does.
They would eat it until it got cold. That's my idea. Yeah. That's why it's partly there, but they ate about half of that thing. So it's that would... in the script, the original Tremors 2 script, with Reba and Kevin, they talk about Shriekers will eat the dead, too. They'll eat dead Shriekers and drag them off and eat them.
I would actually have liked to have seen that.
Oh, I know, right?
I could definitely see them doing that.
That's a really scary but cool idea. I really love that. Ooh, they'll eat... It drives home that they'll eat anything. So they'll just eat anything that's warm. Yeah. On that note, what's your favorite of the monsters? You can add Mixmaster in too if you want. So.
I think besides the Graboids and the Shriekers, I think it'd have to be probably 412.
Oh.
He was like the only thing that hasn't been eaten by El Blanco.
Oh yeah.
I think that's only because like he's made of all types of things, including like a skunk and stink beetle.
Panther urine, skunk extract.
Oh yeah.
But I guess El Blanco bit off a bit more than he could chew. Huh? I fucking love Christopher Lloyd in that episode. But 412, I got my heart for him. I always feel bad for that little guy. I think Shriekers are my favorite. I'm going to go back to that. Shriekers are my favorite. Because they can do a bunch of damage. They just don't care. They're not smart, and they just swarm, and they're crazy, and they scare the fuck out of me.
They're so smart that they're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, they act so smart because they're so stupid.
Which, like, is pretty crazy, too. That's... Because they ended up making a freaking tower just to get to Earl and everyone else.
Yeah. It reminds me of zombies. Where they'll just start piling on top of each other to get somewhere.
Yeah. Like, I wonder, would a Graboid get infected by a zombie?
Oh, I bet so. Oh, yeah. Because I've been having this discussion with people more and more with the Graboid and a Xenomorph from Alien. So I assume if you can start combining those, you can make a zombie Graboid. Like, it's all about infecting it somehow, however you would do it. Yeah. Yes. Actually, I did write a story with Ash Williams from The Evil Dead. Like, encountering Deadite Graboids. So.
Oh, no.
That was really fun. That was really kind of, I loved that idea. Just like, oh, man. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because they'd have to do the exaggerated, like, I love it.
Oh, man.
When he gets all Evil Dead.
Definitely be nightmare fuel.
Oh, yeah. That's how you redesign them, baby.
Deadites are worse enough. A Graboid Deadite is definitely worse.
Because it never really dies. They're so fucking big, man.
Something like that. It's already dead and it travels underground.
It's kind of like El Blanco. He doesn't feel like he's alive. He's just... Oh, man. Oh, zombie Graboid. And you wouldn't be able to kill... Like, you would blow chunks off of it, and it would still just keep coming at you.
Yeah.
I've always wondered where a Graboid's brain is physically located. Actually, I think there's a picture. I need to look that up.
I think you need to fix your audio.
Hello! Can you hear me?
Like, staticky.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, let me do a quick pop. I think. Mute, and then unmute. How about now?
It's a little okay.
Yep. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, man. So, if you had to mix master a creature, I know there's no mix master in this episode, but you said 412. What would you make for a mix master creature? What would you combine? Somebody else in another episode said...
I've seen something like with a Shrieker. It's a tough one. Man. Like, I don't think I would want anything, because freaking bats, or what was it, that bat spider? That terrifies me.
Oh yeah, Invisibat!
Of that terrifies me.
Invisibat! See, I go cute. My mind always goes to somebody in another episode said cactus horse.
Oh,
and
man.
I don't know.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, Jeff Johnson said that one, and I really love it. Cactus horse. And it'd be a nice thing. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just a horse that's made out of cactus. I know, right? Like, what? Okay. Actually, my other one, I always do the Shrieking Grab Blaster. Where it's,
oh, no.
And it's got the little, like, these retract and shit, and then they turn into wings, too.
At first, I thought those were legs.
They are! They're like spidery millipede legs. That's halfway the idea. And then they've got webbing on them, so then they expand and retract. I gotta make one tentacle. Only one tentacle, I think, makes it scary. But then it's got a blaster rattle at the end. Like, that's fire and... And it can go through the ground. On top of it, it can fly. Wow. So, yeah. Shrieking Grab Blaster, folks. That's mine. I try. You'll think of something.
Tough one, how to make a mix master.
I would love to see, again, it's about making Graboids cute too. Like a Graboid with a hamster, or a Shrieker with a hamster. So it's furry. Like, just, I mean, that, imagine that, man.
Imagine how scientists, like, Graboids had fur.
Oh, imagine that.
With dinosaurs have feathers.
Oh my god! We've been getting him wrong the whole time. The actual true original species was the one with fur. Oh my god. Oh. I mean, it doesn't work because they're under the ground, but I also don't give a shit because I love that idea so much. I'm into it. Okay. So, why or not, you may, like, why do you like this episode of Graboid Rights?
I like the idea that Graboids do need rights. The idea of it is, like, it doesn't humanize Graboids, it makes them more, like, it's not a monster.
Yeah.
It's an animal that deserves rights. And, like, if Graboids were definitely real, I would have loved to study them. It would be great to know how they do everything, how they live for so long, or how the eggs stay incubated for so long and they're able to hatch from long periods of time.
The science of them, I'm into that too. Like, that's what I could never really bring myself to kill them.
The science of it is great, but being eaten part is bad.
Yeah. That's where my personal, like, if I saw a Graboid or an Ass Blaster, you know, I would halfway leave it alone and back away. But if I fucking saw Shriekers, man, that thing would be dead. Yeah. It's just an instinctual, that thing would have to die.
But, with Bert, how Bert says it, Shriekers are definitely something you don't want because they produce so fast and in huge numbers. And then within 24 hours, they become Ass Blasters. And then you'll have them up in the sky everywhere, laying eggs and starting everything over.
Now you have to get rid of them. That reproducing part is what makes them so, oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, you can deal with them otherwise, but them making more of themselves by just eating food is... That's OP. That's definite OP. It needs to be nerfed. Not really. I love it's what makes them like, oh damn, that's really fucking a great idea. I love Shriekers for that reason.
Yeah.
All right. So who's your character? Like, who's your... It's not even about favorite, but what's that person in all of Tremors, not just the series, but all of Tremors that you relate to?
Oh man, I'm stuck between Earl and Grady. I love those two.
Whoa! Not an answer I expected, but I love it. Why? Why then?
Well, like, I loved Earl in the first movie. Like, I thought of him as the main character, other than Kevin Bacon. And, I don't know, there's something about him that I liked about his character and how he was, well, like, I watched Tremors when I was probably like 8 or 10 years old.
Oh.
And so I didn't know how to, like, describe all that much, but, like, something about Earl said, like, this guy's the main character, this is the most important person of the series. And seeing him in the second movie, I was even happier because I liked him. I liked Fred Ward way more, even though I don't see a lot of movies with him in it. Like Tremors is my all-time favorite movie to watch with him in it. Grady, he's just funny. I love all the jokes they have with him. I love how Earl is just like a big brother to Val and Grady.
Oh.
Sometimes probably a father for Grady, kind of, maybe.
See, I never took it as big brother, but now I'm seeing that way more.
Because, even in the deleted scene in Tremors, how Earl is trying to, like, praise
Val wingman!
Towards,
he's doing a wingman for Val.
Yeah. He's a great wingman.
No, I love that scene, too. It's one of those I know why they took it out, but I'm also like, damn, I kind of like that. You could have kept it in. I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded that either. I was like, why did they take this out?
Oh,
this was a great thing.
It's the pace of it, because of the way that it goes straight from the... could you help me? To then they're in the place talking about what just happened.
Yeah.
If you put that in the middle, then it slows that down. So that's where it's like, I halfway get it, but it's also like, oh, man, I really do love it.
I'm definitely glad they did film it, though, and it's just a deleted scene.
Yeah.
But it could... Yeah,
adds to Earl.
See Earl as a big brother for Val.
Yeah, that's the strength of that first movie is those two, and I love Earl just constantly like, damn it, man, you're fucking up. You're always going for these big-breasted bimbos, and man, you gotta find yourself a classy woman. Damn it. Where's that porn star I keep pining for? That's always my one mixed message on that movie, where it's like, so you did spend the majority of the first movie telling Val that he shouldn't have an idealized version of a woman that he chases after, and you ended up getting the ideal version of the woman you've been chasing after.
Yeah.
But part of me, I say that, but then part of me is like, I don't know. I feel like he's earned that. There's a little bit. You survived all that. You made it through 2 movies.
He really earned it, like, after everything that happened after Tremors.
Yeah. Like, he's okay. We'll give you that. You had it. You had enough. You went through enough shit. We'll give you that one.
And I was wondering, like, what could have been that tore him apart from Val? Like, was it just all the money that came with it?
What do you mean? For like what?
Like on Tremors 2 when Earl talks about how he blew it with catching a Graboid alive, and how he didn't get any, or probably a little bit of money from the discovering of the Graboids.
Oh, he fucked up his money. Again, this is something they do better in the original script for Tremors 2, because they both kind of lose their money because they didn't plan ahead. Literally, it's what they didn't do in the first movie. They didn't.
No!
They just didn't like. They didn't.
One thing Earl was talking about.
They didn't see the value in it. Almost like the whole. I'll tell you one thing: old Slick Chang don't get his mitts on this for no measly $15. And they ended up doing that again. Like they ended up like selling rights to something at some point, and not realizing they were selling rights. So yeah, that's always a sad.
Never knew that. I was curious about that. I never knew that. Oh my god. Oh, it's definitely one way to lose everything.
Yeah. They get a bunch of money at the end. I always love that.
Yeah, Tony. They get plenty of it after killing 28 worms.
Yeah, we didn't die.
We should charge them for the little ones.
Yeah, we should. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. And there was 100 of those. There was 150 of them. 175 of them.
Well, we killed one at the watchtower, one on the truck, and one outside. That's it.
Well, I'm sorry. That reaction, I was gifting stuff, and that reaction from Earl is just a great one to use as a reaction gif, where you just, well, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. That's why I really gradiate to Earl too. It's really cool to hear you say that Earl and Grady are your favorites, because Fred Ward brings a hell of a bunch of acting to that role. Wait,
Yeah.
like he really, there's, yeah, I do. I love Fred. I want him back. That's kind of what I was getting at. I would love to. Everybody wants Kevin Bacon back,
I
but
would have loved to see Fred Ward return.
yeah,
When I would have loved to have seen him and Belle return in the 7th movie with Bert or something.
that's really. And then I would be fine with them doing what they fucking did.
Man.
But it's like, man, I'll ask you that. I mean, we're far enough in. I hope. Hold on. I got to do one thing first. Just got to pause and save that and go back here. Because, yeah, man. I got to. What do you think of that fucking ending to Tremors 7? Shrieking.
I was really disappointed. It was hard to watch. I'm like watching it with my mom when the movie came out. She's like, "Oh, new Tremors came out." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch it." Watching it, the end scene. I'm like, "What? They killed Bert. How you gonna kill the main? How you gonna kill your main character, the face of the freaking series?"
Not just main character, but like the face of the series. Like you have to like the face of the franchise.
It was so bad. I felt bad. Man, I was like, how are you gonna kill him off like that? And then you don't even have what the hell is his son to take the mantle like they've been building up in the last 2 movies. I was like they replaced him with Napoleon Dynamite. Whatever his name is. Oh man.
Which I wouldn't
was so disappointed with that.
I wouldn't be so mad with John Heater in that movie if they had pulled a Marvel and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, this is Travis. This is Travis and we're moving on. We replaced Rhodey. This is that's Travis, John Heater's Travis, and we're moving on."
Yeah, I get that you have like why did they even remove him from the movie?
Nobody knows.
What's the point of it?
Jamie Kennedy doesn't know. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing. Like, nobody really knows. I think, because if you follow Jamie Kennedy on TikTok, he's very subversive and, like, fuck you to everything. I feel like that had a part of it. But also, he doesn't know. Michael Gross doesn't know. And Michael Gross was, like, sad about that ending because he had, what you just said, he had been, like, writing something through the last 2 movies to finish this off here.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it.
It was so dumb. Why give Bert an heir to the Gummer legacy and don't give it to him?
Yeah. Oh, he's off in Mexico because he got caught with magic mushrooms. That's not...
Yeah,
no.
Oh, my God.
I would have preferred you not said anything.
I was like... Oh, man. I was like, how are you going to get caught with mushrooms in Mexico?
I know, in Mexico.
Why were you caught in Mexico with mushrooms?
I'm pretty sure they're legal there. Actually, now that I'm thinking, by 2020 at least. I'm just like, I feel like,
yeah, I can understand that, but like, why were you even there?
Like, I know, right?
Oh man, I was so upset with that. Oh,
it's bad.
They ruined that. They ruined that whole thing.
It really. Oh. I always feel super duper bad for people because I am constantly telling people to not watch it.
I know, it's like I hear some people like the new series, and I'm like okay, but try not getting attached to the 7th movie.
Please, I do. I'm like, hey man, 5 and 6, go and rewatch those. I actually have a soft spot for 6. 6 is a weird ass movie, and the people in it, the cast is having a good time. I don't think the movie and the plot or anything else is good. I think the cast. I love that Swackhammer dude. I'm high on cocaine and I'm throwing bombs. Woo! Woo! Yeah!
I couldn't get into 6 because like I had Ash Blasters again.
All right.
I had to deal with these guys in the 5th movie. I had to deal with them again.
And they don't even use them really. Like they, Jesus, no. Yeah, I see people say, oh yeah, like I like. Actually, there's a. Oh my God, there's. No joke. Yesterday just came out an article from Bloody Disgusting this guy did a ranking of all 7 movies and the series, and he wrote it yesterday. It came out April 15th, and he put Tremors: Shrieker Island as the second best Tremors movie.
Oh, shame.
And I have a thing where it's like, I try to be unbiased, and I don't like to shame people for their opinions on things like that.
Oh,
but I didn't. Like, actually, Zoran Graboid on his Twitter ended up being like, oh, yeah, my ranking would be different.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, and I was so happy because you never see somebody rank the series with everything. They'll always brag about, I did all 7 movies, and I'll be like, well, yeah, but did you do the TV show? Oh, no, you fucking didn't. But they did. They actually put the TV show in there. It was at, 5th or 4th. But then Shrieker Island at number 2, and it was just... and I feel actually that guy follows the Tremor Saga on Twitter now too. So if you're listening to this, I'm like, please don't hate me. I would love to have a conversation with you about this. You can come on this podcast.
I would list at least Tremor 7 at around the 6, or the 6th movie I like, because Tremors Cold Day in Hell I really don't like, because I have to deal with the ass blasters again. There's nothing new to it. They go on to I bet it's these guys DARPA that are genetically working on the Graboids. I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea, because it would be dangerous for the government to have that kind of control, and it turns out it's not. They're there for water.
And even a part of me is like, oh, from the TV show. Oh, the government lab, and now DARPA knows about Graboid. Oh, fuck this.
Yeah, I couldn't get behind Cold Day. It was, and then, oh man.
Like I said, it's the cast. I can't say the movie's good. It's the cast that I like in Cold Day in Hell. I can tell that they're having fun. That's about it.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot of fun. The part that weirded me out on that movie was when Bert was going through his second cycle when he's suffering from the worm inside of him, and the guy is just copying him the whole way. I'm like, what are you doing? Get inside.
A great bit of physical comedy that was completely unnecessary in that situation. It makes me laugh, but not in a good way. We're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And this is my problem with all they cut Bert's balls off in a... they may have him say stuff about balls all the time, but it feels like they're just cutting his balls off in all those movies and neutering him. And I come from the TV show where Bert's the fucking bomb.
Yeah, it's so weird how they could mess all that up with a character that's been built on for about, I think before the 5th movie, it's been 20 years.
20 years, I think, because you have to go from, they filmed in 1989, released in 90, and then the 5th one came out in 2015, so that's, oh shit, that's 25 years, actually, shit.
Yeah, they had 25 years to build up this movie, or they had 25 years of a movie, of 4 movies, and a TV series. You're telling me you couldn't write his character the right way?
I'm really glad you're here and talking. I love it. It's all right there.
You have the blueprints. What are you doing?
It's literally right there. And on that whole the franchise ranking thing, the person did say about Tremors the series that if you need a roadmap for what to do with Tremors, you just watch Tremors the series. If you want to make more or figure out what you need to do, you just watch Tremors the series, and it's a great little roadmap to figure out what to do. It's all right there. And yeah, so on Bert, where do you think Bert's political compass needle lies? You can be as free as you want on this.
I don't know. I don't even know about politics or anything like that. Probably the middle. As long as no one's messing with him.
Thank you. Sorry, that's the answer I search for every time I ask every single person that question, because it's always, I get really mad seeing the people take him to be like, oh, Burton Trump 2024.
Yeah, no.
And I just
Bert
get
is definitely
so upset.
He wants to be by himself. He don't like government coming in and telling him what to do. The whole reason why he has that house is because of the government.
If you watch the Gummer for President videos, which are all written by Michael Gross too, I am always applauded. Yeah. Like, that's so amazing. And it's honestly, there's that one, and there's the climate change one, and then there's a bunch of the pantyhose one he does for Tremors 5, yep. and there's like, he does some really good ones that are just better than the movies. But I love that the Gummer for President one is him just basically being like, make me president, and I'll make sure everybody leaves us the fuck alone.
Right?
Like, he's concrete moats and fences for all. You get a free laser missile. Actually, free laser missile guidance systems for all. That's actually one. But that's, yeah. What's your stance on the Second Amendment drives in with a tank? And that's mine too. Like, I'm so like, I mean, guns, you can do bad stuff with them, and I'll always point out to people with Tremors that Bert's guns never really solve a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like, really go through it. The one time that the guns work is in the basement scene. That is one, and that's the whole point. Is it's meant to be usually those characters die in that kind of movie, but oh no, they were prepared for that one situation. Yeah. But
he was.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he was prepared. The tongue thing was definitely a surprise for him, and luckily he had Heather there.
Yeah, he would have died without her.
She definitely would have been Graboid food.
Mm-hmm. He was that close. That close. Find someone you love for when the Graboids attack. But I always love to point out that the guns kill one Graboid in the first movie, but their knowledge of creating pipe bombs kills two.
Well, kills one.
No, it kills. Well, technically, it's
that one startles Stumpy to go off the.
But it's the bomb that does it. They need the bomb to be able to get it to do that.
Yeah.
So I always count it as the bomb may not blow it up, but it definitely had a hand in killing it.
Yeah, the pipe bomb gets 50%. The
yes.
cliff gets 100.
But this is I always have that point of contention. Is the gun wall is awesome, but you know what? The pipe bombs do way more. But I don't see people posting their pipe bomb collections online.
No, I think that'd be a bad idea.
That's and then in 2, the gun with the shrieker. I always love he builds it up the whole fucking time, and then he shoots it through the shrieker, and then it hits the truck. So I don't count that. That's not a win. You killed one shrieker, but you lost your way out.
Yeah.
3, they shoot at the ass blasters and never hit.
You got it.
Yeah, I didn't know. How could I have known? I don't know, Bert. Rule number 3 of gun safety: know what's behind your target.
Yeah.
So, what do you love about Tremors?
Oh man, there's so much that I love about Tremors, like the worms, the characters. It definitely holds a Graboid heart to myself. Watched it pretty early.
You said 8.
In my life.
I was going to ask you too. When did you get started on that? And it's 8 at 8. Nice.
I think I was 8 or 10 years old with my grandpa.
Yeah.
He was the movie guy, showing all the movies all the time, and Tremors was one of them. We loved the first one. We would always laugh at the jokes. After the second one came out, or not when it came out, but when he found it, we definitely watched that one. We laughed maybe more about the jokes, and the third one, I think he loved the third one the most, because every time the they'd said Ass Blaster, he'd just crack up because it was a funny name.
It's a goodie.
Yeah, and we would go on to watching all 4 movies together.
So it's family for you. You watched it with your grandpa. It's family for you.
Yeah.
So then
it was definitely a grandpa movie to watch. Or not a grandpa movie to watch, but like definitely a movie to watch with everyone.
A family movie. I was just gonna say, is that why you love Tremors too? Then, like,
but it was like a tradition to watch Tremors with him. Or me and him would watch Tremors all the time. It was great.
Hey man, that's what it's always a family thing. For me, my mom and dad, they rented it from the gas station and popped on Tremors too, and they didn't like it, but I loved it, so I always associate it with that. So. Okay. What is your favorite Tremors movie or anything or TV show?
It's definitely 2.
2? Oh, nice.
2 was definitely my favorite.
Well, Earl and Grady said laughing more at jokes. Like I see it.
But you get to see the Graboid in the beginning now. You get to see him eat a oil technician. The practical effects for the Graboids and the Shriekers. Bert's return. How much he even preps to fight the Graboids this time, only to end up fighting Shriekers and not have the things he needs. And the way they got rid of the Shriekers too.
The blowing them up at the end?
Yeah, the whole covering Earl and pretty much Ace, I guess.
Yeah, the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
No, I love that idea. I don't know if it worked. I think the physics of it means it doesn't work, but I still love that idea.
Think it would work. Most of the stuff I see is like it looks like dust. Whenever I try to fire extinguisher.
That's what I mean. Like there's a very thick foam on that fire extinguisher there. But maybe I haven't put enough fire extinguishers out there. Maybe I don't fully know.
Yeah, everyone on my videos on my TikToks will be like, oh, if Shriekers attack, just get a fire extinguisher. I don't think that would work.
I don't think that. Actually, on that note, I love your Earl of the Jungle TikTok. That's always a great one.
Yeah. The first one, because there's 2 of them. The first one, I think, was I used a sound from The Greatest Showman, I think. And then my cousin tells me, he's like, oh, you should use this sound instead. And I'm like, I'm going to test that out. It was George of the Jungle, and I'm like, this fit much better.
Oh, yeah, no, like I said, that was beautiful. That's why I love your Tremors talks. Like, they all work for what you do.
I try to make them work. I definitely do.
They really do.
The one I definitely love the most is Courage the Cowardly Dog one. Have you seen that one?
Oh, probably. Oh, shit. Nope. Hit it. Give it to me.
So, it has Courage. He's like, he's going up to this door, and he goes inside, and it's dark, and he turns on the lights, and it's the Shriekers full. It's all the Shriekers in the room. They see him, and they start screeching, and before he runs out the door, Earl is standing on the other side about to come in, and the door just slams on top of him.
Oh, because Bert, when he slams the door. Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Actually, that's a good. What's your favorite of your Tremors TikToks? That's always a good.
Oh man, there's so many of them. A lot of them. Oh man. But the Courage the Cowardly Dog one, I just love Courage. It would have been great to.
It's another one from 2. That one with Mariah Carey's, with the Shriekers, and they're running around the building, and then the Shriekers open their mouths, and it's for you.
Yeah. I was like, I'm all trying to remember. I'm like, Mariah Carey. Did I make one with?
No, that Christmas Mariah Carey song that we all hate. That was visceral. That's why that's why I love your TikToks, is I really feel them. Just like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, no, okay. Nope, actually. And this it's where it's been great talking to you, Daniel. You're one with Tremors 5 where you just straight up put the fucking Jurassic Park sounds on the kitchen scene. It's so
it was exactly that.
Why I love it is you didn't do anything. Or, like, you didn't. It's just so. All you did is just took the sound and put it on top of it. That's how fucking awful that is.
Yeah.
That is.
It was pretty bad.
Nobody should be paid money for that kind of thing. It makes me so mad. I am a huge. I like referencing things too. I always feel like you should really.
Yeah, when you do a good reference, it's great. It makes the movie good. But when you do a bad one, it makes it look bad.
When you Xerox copy it and just cut and paste, let's just do it again. No.
Yeah, that one. There's like, and then when they tried to reuse stuff, like when in the 6th one, when they're in the that garage. And Graboid tried breaking in.
That line. Don't even say it, man.
Yeah. I was like, why? Why do you try to reuse stuff like that? It's bad. Don't try to do that. I know you're trying to call back to the first movie, but that was just a bad one.
Come on, man. Actually, there's on the callback note, I love in the series the passing of the phrase doing what you can with what you got. And if you watch it, obviously in the second movie, but then Bert says it in the first episode of the series, and it's doing what I can with what I got, to then survival tip, do what you can with what you got. Okay, all right. We all repeat phrases.
It's actually a good one.
And that's what, you changed it up. That's always my, technically you changed it up. And then Rosalita later on says, well, I just do what I can with what I got. And you're almost like, okay, so Bert just says that a lot, doesn't he then? Okay, he just can't stop fucking saying that, and now you mock him. And if you look on the poster for Bert's survival school, it actually says, doing what I can with what I got. The one with him as Rambo. And it's in little tiny writing, it says, doing what I can with what I got. So it's a part of his advertising thing. So it sets up this idea that this is his fucking catchphrase. All right? But then I love this as the joke, though. Finally, Larry comes in, who's super annoying and is the super duper fanboy character, and then does we gotta do what we can with what we got. And Bert just, I'll remember that. Well, maybe you shouldn't say it so much, Bert. And then actually, the best use of it is then, we must do what we can with what we have, from Tremors 4. Where you're like, oh, you see, if you're gonna have the same fucking line, you better change it, man.
Yeah.
It's literally just broken in the wrong goddamn rec room.
Movie that it was a
wrong.
I'll call back to the second one. I didn't even notice that. It took me a minute to notice it.
It should be. That's clever. That's good writing. That's what we love about these first 4 movies. I hope so. It's well written. Fuckers. Not you. So your least favorite movie is 6. Your favorite movie is 2. Okay. Break it down. I want to say which one do you think is better, Stampede or Universal, but I know the answer to that. That's not.
Yeah, Stampede.
But okay, the better question be, what do you prefer over the Stampede than the Universal?
Well, I kind of like how the creatures from the 7th movie are more agile, like how they're supposed to be. They're pretty agile for making a ladder in the second movie. That's pretty impressive. But seeing them act as a more aggressive in the 7th movie I liked the idea, how they ambushed everyone.
Mm-hmm.
the Barracudas thing was definitely not something I didn't like. Like them saying that, I was like, they don't use sound though. Sound doesn't matter, but
the heat
that comes from their mouth does.
I don't know if you watch Zoran's kill counts or whatever, but I love that. The heat, that sound doesn't matter. It's the heat that transmits.
Yeah, I seen that and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Right? When they said the Barracudas thing, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Anything else you like about those movies? I'm so sorry. I like the color in them. All right, I do have to say that's always my one. Like, some of it gets well shot. Whoever the cinematographer is can get some nice, pretty shots. The color in it, but that's about where I draw the line.
I guess I like the CGI for the Shriekers. Although I could understand what year the movie Tremors 2 came out. Like, I understand the year, and it was hard to do CGI stuff like that for the Shriekers. But the practical effects from the movie, from the original 4, is great. There's no replacing the practical effects for Graboids. I love practical effects with anything like dinosaurs, Graboids, monsters. Those are the best. When CGI and it's done bad, it's no. It's a no for me. Don't do CGI into your characters.
What, you don't want a CGI Burt Gummer?
No.
What, you don't want that?
Enough CGI people.
What, you don't want that? That's not what you want? Come on!
You see what they did to the Rock and the Mummy?
What? No, that's some shit CGI.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad. And I keep saying this, and I partly say it because I'm putting it out in the universe. If they made a re-release of Tremors 2 and 3 where they redid the CGI like George Lucas style, that would sell like gangbusters.
Oh yeah, they would definitely sell a lot if they did that.
Like that, because that's the only problem.
Because like after watching Tremors the first time and watching it so many now, I like the CGI for it. Like it's that type of year and everything.
Yeah, it's the '90s, the 2000s, just what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, they did like in one of their interviews, and I think it was how they talked about how the Tremors came out way before Jurassic Park, and it did so well, like with its practical effects and everything. They did so much in that movie. Like after watching the Lost Tapes, you see so much work that's gone through the first movie.
That car sinking? Oh man,
I would have loved to have seen that.
Actually, no, Steve. I said it because Steve just put out part 1 and part 2 of the car sinking.
Oh no, yeah, I seen a little bit of it on the Tremors saga. I think
he's got a YouTube channel where they get all that from, and no, he just posted. He did one last week of the car sinking, and he just posted another one, a new one of the car sinking, yesterday. And it is so cool. It's really hard. Like, and what the cool part of it is, it doesn't work. They have to do a whole bunch of different shit around it because they fill in a pit with sand, or that they thought was going to work. Like, I always laugh at that too. So you decided to fill a pit with water and then dump dirt into it, and you thought your mechanics were going to keep working?
Right.
That's cool, guys. I get it. And it's the last night of the shoot. They had actually gotten like an extra $1 million to shoot it, and they had come back to do it. So it's like, I don't think this one got planned all the way out there or whatever.
Yeah.
But the practical is fucking amazing, actually. That was one of my notes on this, and I said it several times. When those people get grabbed by the tentacles, it's legit good. When El Blanco was hanging out of the ground there at the end, it's fully realized. Like, there's no part like, oh, he's like, that's too sluggish, he wouldn't be moving like that. Nope, I feel like there's a monster sitting in the middle of perfection right there.
Yeah.
It's really well done. the hand puppet. That's always the one I come back to, where it's just a simple like, oh man, chop, 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 and it grabs things. That is so dumb and easy, but I love it.
Yeah.
So you want practical effects, just like everybody else. Practical and blend it with CGI. That's really where it's at. Like I said, if you watch Tremors 4, they use CGI in it, but you just don't notice it.
I like the part with the chase with the Graboid when they're in the cart.
Yeah.
When that Graboid barges through
the bridge.
That bridge. I'm like, is that practical effect or is that CGI?
That's actually a practical. They did a miniature effect of that. They built a little miniature to scale bridge and everything with a Graboid, and they brought it through on like a rail track, and then they took that and they CGI composited it over on top of it.
Yeah, that one was definitely a great one. I love the design for the Graboids in the first movie too.
Yeah.
I think they had like a darker top.
Like, I'm looking at, now that you say that, because this Graboid that you got, it's not El Blanco, but it's very whiter. The Graboids in 3 are more pale looking.
I think this one is this is definitely 3.
Yeah. No, I know it is. I can tell.
Graboid I can find.
No, it's just more like, no, there is a difference. There's a little texture difference. I wonder if just different batches. That one got cooked a little longer. He's a little hard-boiled egg. He's out in the sun too long. Okay. I'm just double checking, make sure I got all my. I'll end or halfway in. This is my second to last one. So, are these protesters right or wrong in this episode? Do we really come to that idea? I'm trying to bring it back around of everything. That's where it's like, are these? How do we treat Graboids? Were they right? Are they wrong?
It's honestly a hard one because, sure, we should protect endangered species, but don't do it where the endangered species lives, because you can disturb their habitat just by being there. Because like we've seen, they're lucky that El Blanco never showed up in perfection to eat someone.
Oh yeah, eat one of those protesters.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been sick, he would have been eaten.
I think it's right I think they were right to protest that El Blanco was treated better. Like, sure, they use concussion grenades to keep him at bay when something dangerous is happening, but being there is quite dangerous themselves. You're putting yourself in harm's way, and if the creature eats you, you can't be really. I don't think your family could be ensured that they can't kill the Graboid because it's an endangered species. Because I'm sure people would have. They would kill a bear or a wolf if it killed someone.
You can't kill a Graboid.
Blanco is probably a different story with that whole thing.
Ooh. That would be a good storyline. Like a Graboid eats a kid, like El Blanco eats a kid.
Oh man!
And you got to deal with the repercussions of like, oh, do we put him down?
That'd be really bad.
Oh, ooh. Where's my pencil?
That's definitely why the tourism is so dangerous. Because like we seen in that episode, people brought their kids too.
Oh yeah.
Like kids don't listen. How are you supposed to keep them on a truck where their only safety is a Jeep?
And he stops. He makes stops to talk about things. So it's not like he's driving the whole time.
It's definitely dangerous to have kids on a tour where a man-eating worm.
It's not safe. You may sign a waiver, but, I mean, do you want your kids to die to that? You may sign a waiver as a parent, but if your kid died to a Graboid, you'd still put up a big stink.
And even Bert tried preventing El Blanco from attacking it when he was teaching him to avoid the sound of his Jeep.
I often wonder about the repercussions of that. Would that just become the most boring tour ever then? Like, is El Blanco permanently just staying away from the tour Jeep?
Right.
They had to bring in a different truck. You had to buy a different truck so that way you could not tell the engine noise.
Oh, man.
Oh, now I'm thinking about it, he probably did. Like, if he's avoiding him, that makes sense. Actually, that might be why. Oh, because they talk about later, like, they haven't seen an El Blanco sighting in weeks. Oh, man. Huh. I'm going to have to put some math on that then.
Yeah.
So, knowing everything that you know, what would you do next with Tremors?
Well, I would have actually have liked to have seen that Kevin Bacon series. I would have liked to have seen that. Because I listened to your podcast where you read the script, and I was like, I would have actually have liked to have seen it.
Yeah, right?
It was, like, at first when I seen the Graboids in the pilot trailer,
Yeah.
I was like, that's a Graboid? Did they not learn their lesson? And then listen to that it's a Mixmaster Graboid.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense now. And I think if at least like one trailer or one episode would have came out at least, that everyone would have understand what was going to happen.
You would get more of an idea. Like, I hate that trailer. That trailer is it doesn't do the justice of trying to tell that story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things it misses. It is misleading on. I don't like that trailer. Because it feels to me like when it ends on that shot of the Graboid at the end, that trailer is specifically designed to piss people off. Because it's meant to make... Because I had the same thing too, where it's like, that's not what kind of Graboid is that? Fucking bullshit. And then you actually find out, and you're like, oh no. But you would know. Yeah. If you didn't do any more digging, you would just assume that, and then you would just hate that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah, because like, when I first seen the trailer, I was disappointed, and I didn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But after I listened to the podcast, I was like, after I listened to the podcast, I looked at the trailer again. I'm like, I would love to have seen this.
Yeah.
I wanted to see a Graboid that was the top dog, and all these Mixmaster Graboids are following it.
Yeah, battalion Graboids.
And the whole part when you portray Val, like I was wrong.
I was wrong about everything.
Get out of here!
Run! No, and well, that's part of the I don't like about that trailer, and because people will point this out, they'll be like, because Val says, "Oh, they don't plan, they don't strategize, they just kill," and people will comment, "Oh, but are you forgetting the first movie where you specifically were talking about how like they are smart and they know what they're doing?" And it's like, "Oh no, in the actual script," and I love that the last lines of it are him saying, "Forget everything I said, run!" Because from a writing perspective, it's amazing, because he spends the whole time saying like, "Oh yeah, you gotta listen to me, they're coming back," and it's a bit of a Burt Gummer thing, where it's like, "No, I'm telling you, listen to me, this is what's happening," but he's also really far out there, and he has lost it a little bit, so you're like, "Oh, okay, no shit, I was wrong, I was still wrong."
I like the way they did Val for it.
Yeah, I love
they did Val for it, like how he wants Graboids to return. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Like the way they did Val is better than what they did with Bert in the sixth movie.
Yeah.
Because like Bert has always been prepared. Val wasn't ready for any of these, and like he stayed in perfection, thinking that Graboids are going to return, and thought all this merchandise stuff would get him somewhere higher, which it kind of drove him apart from his family that he started. And while Bert has a thing where he's just affected because he got eaten by a worm.
Yeah. Woo. Which, I mean, tons of people have been covered in Graboid guts all throughout the series, so I don't 100% buy that.
Yeah. Everyone got covered in Graboid guts. Now you're saying that someone can get infected because they spent about, 5 minutes?
That seems like 5 minutes.
Something in a stomach?
I love you, Daniel. It's so true. It's really like, oh man, I'm gonna be on somebody else's podcast later, and we're doing Tremors 3. And I was taking notes for it or whatever, and I had to ask, like, hey, can I spoil anything, like the later movies? And because it's so fucking dumb that, like, in 3 he gets eaten, and then, we need a reason to, like, to disable Burt Gummer. Oh, remember when he got eaten? Let's use that and come back around. No, It's been 20 years. If there would have been some consequences, the man would have suffered them by now. Come on.
Man,
it's
really
bad science. I don't know, and that's might be dumb to say about movies about giant worms or whatever, but it is. It's really bad science. Where you're just like, I mean,
it's like taking the guy from Sharknado who jumped in the shark's mouth and saying he got infected because he was in the shark's mouth.
I've never seen Sharknado, but that's a wonderful image.
The next Sharknado movie, you're sick because you're in the shark's mouth. You gotta go and get. We gotta figure out a antidote by jumping in another shark's mouth.
And then, okay, and on this note, oh no, you got infected because you were inside of the Graboid. Okay, Jamie Kennedy, you get inside of the Graboid, and now you get covered in goo, and we're only going to get enough juice for one antidote. So 20 years from now, Jamie Kennedy is going to get infected.
I guess,
no, he is. He's covered in it. Because he has to go in the mouth. He is covered in juice when he comes out.
Yeah.
So he's infected.
What was that guy's name in the 5th movie who brought all that?
Oh, yes! That guy! I brought that up in my podcast! That guy, too, should be infected!
Yeah.
Which, I love that pilot guy. I would love to see him come back in some way. But he should be infected! Jamie Kennedy and the Bush pilot should fucking die. Ugh! I really try not to get so yelly and angry, but I can't help it with these things. I mean, I don't write all of this out. A lot of this I try to come up with whatever my brain's thinking of, and it is just so dumb to me. The more I think about it, yeah, you got eaten. That guy got eaten. That guy got kind of swallowed, but I guess only the one person matters because it's only what matters for the fucking plot right now. It
makes no sense anymore because Graboids, when they ate, like, at least from the first 4 movies, when they got you, they crushed you with their freaking small throat. But apparently these new Graboids are so big, they can't crush you.
The only reason I buy Burt getting swallowed in the 3rd movie is that barrel.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of setting the barrel up and him getting in it. We're like, okay. Make a pocket of air or whatever, or you're just not breathing, but the barrel saved him. Like, that's like from the pressure from the crushing. That's always my like.
I'm surprised that Graboid was able to swallow that barrel.
I honestly, I think because of the car, like they will swallow anything. I'm looking at the gullet of the Graboid you have on screen, and it is big enough.
Yeah.
Like it's
pretty big. Well, you know what? I think that's the one that's...
That is the one, because that's the same area. That's why I know that scene so well. But I think we miss it because we're not there on location. But those things are like 30 foot long. It's like a whale swallowing something. You just be like, yep, down you go.
They're freaking huge. Compared to, like, though they say they're 30 feet long, the new ones look like they're, like, 10.
The
new ones don't even look like it.
They look short and fatter.
Yeah.
Like, they're definitely, I see that too. They're shorter and a lot fatter on the...
Yeah. Although the original Graboids can't jump out of the ground like these.
Oh, fucking don't. A literal... If there was a shark on the ground, that would be the literal shark jump moment of the series. For me, personally. That is. That's really where you're just like... Because Because then the detachable tongues is also right there in that scene, and that's just my
the detachable tongues, gross.
I'm with Steve Wilson on that, where it's like that is just the dumbest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard of, and I hate you for thinking of it.
Where were the tongues in the 7th movie anyway? We didn't even.
Oh my god, there wasn't.
In the 7th movie.
Oh no, there was. Because there's one.
That's right.
The bow tie guy gets it, like he's getting pulled, and Bill is shooting at him or whatever. But that's it.
Yeah. But that's the only like this Graboid didn't think of, like, what did they do? Just imaginally attach themselves to the Graboid again?
I do. I try to think about that all the time.
By themselves.
I've done this on a podcast where you're just like, imagine your tongue just decided to take the fucking walk, and then dump back in your mouth. No, it doesn't. It would just be its own thing by that point.
And that's one thing I'm starting to wonder now, because I guess the either the tongues from the 5th and 7th movie, either they go by sound or by heat.
No, I think they're sound. Well, there's another. Sound? We don't even know. What are they going after?
I was also thinking, what if the tongues are baby Graboids?
I was hoping that. Actually, so here.
Because we've seen fish do that. There's fish that have the babies go in their mouths for protection.
That's a legit thing. There's that one creature that actually eats another fish's mouth, or eats another fish's tongue and replaces it with its. But you don't really see it with the actual animal itself doing that. That's where I kind of get off on it. Maybe it is, though. Maybe it is little baby Graboids. And I say that, too, because that was the original idea for 5. It was supposed to be... You can clearly see those detachable tongue scenes are meant to be baby Graboid scenes.
Yeah, that's what I thought about, because, like... take a break. Talking so much.
No, I know. That's where I'm chugging. I'm there with you. I feel you. But no, you can tell that all the detachable tongue scenes are meant to be baby Graboid scenes.
I thought about that, and I'm like, what if these aren't tongues? What if they're just baby Graboids? Yeah. Although the original baby Graboids, the dirt dragons, are the best dirt dragons.
Yes! I want to see more baby... those things are the coolest to me.
I love their beaks. I love how they actually shed it. It's like their armor.
Yeah, the dorsal plate. Yeah. I'm always so sad we only get one scene of baby Graboids in the whole series.
I know.
Well, that's a great one.
Well, they talk about him in the 5th movie, but we never see him.
Yep.
That's one thing I didn't like about the 5th one, is when they're doing when Bert is given the let down about Graboids.
Oh yeah.
That when they introduce the Graboid, like when they show a Graboid eating someone, it's a new Graboid. I'm like, I've never seen that before.
It's true, right? Like you're like, wait a minute. Are you spoiling your own movie? Yeah, thanks.
How do you? Spoiled it.
You want to know something?
The surprise.
Something fucked up about that video? I'm pretty sure that video is actually somebody else's Graboid morphology video from YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm not even joking. Like, there's a fan video that they did a Graboid morphology thing, and it's pretty much every single thing that they use in that movie, and I'm just like,
oh yeah.
That doesn't seem legal to me. Because it's the animation and everything. I mean, you can have the same information. That's going to be the same. But it's the animations and the drawings and everything, all the cartoon of it, where you're like, did you just download somebody else's YouTube video and not even fucking ask them?
Right.
Because I fully believe that. No joke, they only just now credited Baby Fark McGeezax for creating Burt Gummer Day after 2 years.
Yeah, when I first heard about Burt Gummer Day, it was through the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's a Burt Gummer Day. Oh, you want me to pay my taxes?
Yeah. It's not like there was an entire plot line in the 6th movie about Burt Gummer not paying his taxes so much that he had to find a way to never pay taxes again. man. But you want us to pay taxes? Go fuck yourself, Universal.
Yeah.
And then to even like, oh, you didn't even credit Baby Fark McGee's axe for that. You just took the holiday and just boom. Fuck you. Not even a little thank you, Baby Fark McGee's axe in the credits. Fuck you.
How old is it? Like 7 years?
7 years. Like, that's where I can't, like, I get really mad about that, because you're like, yeah. So.
Imagine creating something and then not being credited for it after you did it, like, years ago.
Yeah. You would just be like, and actually, I know the guy personally. We talk back and forth on Imager all the time, and he's really cool about it. He's actually a great guy. I love him. He's in our Facebook group, too. I can't say his name. He'll get mad at me. But I want him on this podcast. But Baby Fark is a great guy, and it was just happy to have it in the movie. And I totally get that. But it's also like, yeah, man, like, they're using your holiday to sell his death, though. That's always my problem with it, is that like the reason he started the holiday was how much he loved Bert. And oh, so how do you show your thanks for that, Universal? Oh, you kill this guy's hero and slap his holiday at the end of it. Buy more of our movies and watch them on Bert Gummer Day, and also pay your taxes.
It's so hard not to even like. I want to like I have like at least I think I have like 3 cases of Tremors because I have the 7 movie collection, the Tremors like with 1 movie like a special edition, and then I have the Attack Pack. Yeah, I don't even have the series yet. Oh my god, yep.
Oh no, some of these are books too. Sorry, these are Steve Wilson's books. I always like to plug these, but yeah, you gotta get your shit, man.
Yeah, man.
I've actually been taking to, because there's the official Tremors page, the Universal one. There's the Stampede one, and then there's the Universal Tremors page. And on Facebook, I've been taking to ribbing the Universal one a little more, to be like, hey, you know, you want people to buy this, you want people to buy all your movies, that's the whole point. You know how much money you'd make if you put the TV show with your 7 movie collection? Like if you had 7 movies and the 13 episode TV show in one pack, sell like gangbusters. Like, it's so dumb to me that doesn't happen. I don't get that one at all. Oh, man. So, I feel like we can wind down from here. I've been loving talking to you, Daniel. Do you have any closing thoughts or even questions for me? I've got so many questions for you. You know, you can always hit me back.
I don't think I have any questions.
No, that's fine, too. Or you have some thoughts, like...
let's see. Alright. Well, there should definitely be Tremors merchandise. They should treat Tremors like they should treat Jurassic Park. There should be freaking Graboid plushies. There should be Graboid shirts available in stores and hats.
I actually forgot to ask you the question, and it was...
all the stuff that they show in the 3rd movie, there should be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would love the Graboid tongue mittens.
I want the oven mitt.
Yeah.
I want that thing. I do a lot of cooking.
And there's so many people who actually do make all this stuff, like Rest in Pieces. She makes stickers and T-shirts and mugs. She makes all types of good stuff, and there's people who make art. One time I went to a convention, and someone had I think it was I don't know how big it was, but there was a mural with a Graboid eating someone, and I would have loved to have that.
Oh.
I was like, I wish I would have bought it. Oh man, it was great.
Ooh.
There's so many stuff that people have made for Tremors that you can't just find. You have to search the web for it, and it's so hard to do.
Me?
Sometimes it's either like my blanket.
Yeah.
You would not be able to get that from Universal. Someone had to make that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yes, give me that blanket.
Yeah, I said it at the beginning. I want it.
Let's see if you can see him. There. Oh wait, nope. Let me.
Oh no, I halfway saw the plushiness of it.
How do I do this?
No, your blanket's fucking awesome though. I would buy the fuck out of that myself too. Just saying, Universal, if you're listening. And the Graboid plushie. Oh, Graboid body pillow. That's what I always come back to. Oh! Hey, buddies. Oh, and they're retractable tongues! Ah! Ah!
But yeah, it was I forgot her name, but she makes stuff like that, and this was she made a Kirby one and all that, but I asked for a Graboid, and this is what she made. I'm like, yes, I love it.
No, that's awesome, man.
That's like, people have great imagination. Like, I've even seen someone made a Graboid from there's this one guy on a Facebook group who's 3D printing
that thing.
Graboid head.
That fucking thing.
That's amazing.
That thing, man. Like, I always have there's no fan that's any greater than any other fan. Like, what I'm doing here is as equal to what you're doing on TikTok, which is as equal to what Zoran Graboid is doing on YouTube, which is as equal to what Jonathan Melville did with this book. Which, by the way, that TikTok with you of you going for this book was fucking hilarious. It has 3,000 views on YouTube now. That one's on the Tremor Saga YouTube page, and for some reason, that it has the most views out of any fucking video on that page. It's got 3,000 views. It's the weirdest fucking thing. So, but the point was that all these fans are equal, and that guy making that fucking head is, again, that's the same thing as the rest of this. There is so much commitment and love for Tremors to that. Ha ha!
This one, I forgot his TikTok name, but it was this kid. He started making a Graboid head from cardboard. I don't think he finished. I haven't seen any of his stuff yet, or any progress of it. But he was making the head, and I'm like, keep going.
Ooh.
Don't stop.
I know that there's Rain in the Sky. I know, like, he's been making a Graboid head recently. I don't think this is the one you're talking about, but I gotta look for your cardboard one. But there's a guy, Rain in the Sky, on TikTok that he's been slowly building one with the tongues and everything. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Wearable Graboid. Zoran Graboid, I don't know if you've ever seen that photo of his Graboid costume. You can actually wear it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's even people who've made costumes.
Yeah, no, you can wear, like, it's a full wearable Graboid you can wear.
There's Graboid costumes out there.
Yeah. Ooh, one of my favorites to see. I always love those yard displays with the like somebody takes a barrel and paints it or whatever and puts some cardboard on it with some tubes coming up, and they put up a guy at Edgar style. I fucking love that. I got to do one of those for Halloween. I fucking love those.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Oh, but imagine if you just had, go to the store, get your own personal Graboid. Or Shriekers for Halloween. Actually, that would be a great one. Like a candy Shrieker. Like, you put, like, a candy bowl in front of it, but then you go for it.
Yeah. There's, in one of my videos, too, I stitched a video where these people made a practical effect, like a Halloween ornament.
Oh! I know which one you're talking about! That one I do know.
Yeah.
With the Graboid head, like the wearing it. That thing is cool.
That was great. That one, I was like I would have definitely paid for that.
No, that's a goodie.
That's it so much though. I'm like yeah, but that's a great.
That's a treat yourself, man. That's a who cares? I have one. like we were the reason we're on this conversation. I want that guy with that 3D model. Man, is fucking awesome. I do a lot of stuff for Tremors, but that is fucking so cool, man.
Yeah, there's even people. This one guy, he ended up making Tremor Christmas ornaments. He had the Santa hat and Graboid.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. Like, I don't think he sells them anymore. But
no,
there's so much stuff that people have made for Tremors.
And there should be more. There should be tons. Tons more. No joke, my nephews are always asking to have a Graboid or a Shrieker or an Ass Blaster to play with, too. Just as... Yeah. And I'm with them, because I love playing with them, too, like that. And it was just, man, if I had... That would be so cool, man. Because they're such unique creatures. That's always I come back to, you don't see that anywhere else. Show me a Graboid, a Shrieker, or an Ass Blaster in any other media. I will wait. Anything equivalent. Because I was even thinking earlier that the Shrieker is like the Velociraptor, which is halfway the point because of that Jurassic Park influence. But Velociraptors can't regurgitate themselves and make more.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole, like... And that's what I mean, when you're a kid playing, you're like, oh, I ate you! Oh, I ate more! Now there's hundreds of Shriekers.
Yeah.
The imagination level, so much more fun. Oh, man. And it's funny, I'm glad, that was the one question I forgot to ask you, too, is what would be your merch pick that you would do? All of them!
yeah, all of them. There's so many, I have so many ideas that I want to do, but I don't have the skill to do it, and I'm like I want to teach myself to do it, but it's so hard to get into it, because, like, it requires money, time, skills.
Yeah, the money and time's not so hard, it's the skill where, like, man, I'm just not good, damn it, man.
There's so much stuff, like, oh man, I would love to make Tremors art to show, like, how gory it could be, or how heroic Bird is.
This was so cool to draw. I can't even tell you if you draw anything. Like I said, it's not great, but this was so. I was like, man, I want to make more. I need to make more of this, man. This is cool.
Yeah.
The Valentine's Day card I did for Caitlin. I don't know. It might be the episode or the episode before this with Kevin. Oh, no, it was Shriek and Destroy. And I was showing it off. But I did Reba is red, Graboids are brown. I want you by my side when the shit goes down. And I had, Reba and a little Graboid. And then I had Caitlin and I were jousting with Shriekers. And we were lighting a joint off an Ass Blaster's butt. And, we were on Chang's drinking coffee. It was so much fun. Like, it was just like, I love this. I get to take the things and I put them together and I'll make a new thing. Yeah. Fan art. I'm always for it, man. I'm really here for it all the time.
Yeah, you can find plenty of fan art on Google, on DeviantArt.
Anywhere.
There's tons of people who made art for Tremors, and some of it a little weird.
Zoran showed that one of the Graboid with boobs and everything. Trust me, man, that is tame. I mean that. That is tame. I like that picture too because it's because it's tame, but I'm also like, man, no. And I really the Tremor Saga people they've started their own Facebook group or whatever, and they've started putting more of that albums and shit together. I actually I'm the one that finds it all, and I send it to them, and they put it out there. But man, I want them to put together a nice Rule 34 album. Not for any, like, I really hope nobody's masturbating to this or anything, because that's, and maybe not. You're free to do whatever the fuck you want. Or what, literally, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. But it's so cool. It's always so like, damn, I don't need to take part in that, but I can't help but be impressed, too. Wow. Just wow. I need to get on more posting of the fan art. It's good shit. Actually, one of my favorite things, I'm always mad about the official group of Tremors was when that truck meme thing happened.
Oh.
The Val and Earl truck meme. I loved that. I don't know if you did. I don't know your feelings on it. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Because I know it's the same joke, but there's so many variations of it. And everybody got to participate and have fun with it and like just do it and do it and do it. And I'm always so mad that the mods put a kibosh on that and we're like, oh no, you can't post any more of those. I was like, I don't need to see the same piece of dirt moving for the 18,000th time. I would rather see the Val and Earl truck meme for the 18,000th time. Thank you very much. I get it. That rock moved and it reminded you of Tremors. I get it. Please make something better. But that's, like I said, memes. And then the Burt Gummer meme guy. I don't agree with his politics 100%, but man, I respect the fuck out of him. Really, I mean, it's like I do. It's just like, damn, I tip my hat to what you do, sir. And he's actually been listening to the pod. I kind of forgot. Yeah, so if you're listening, Burt Gummer meme stash guy, I don't have to agree with you to love what you do. Fucking yeah, man. That always, like, that's just nuts. 30,000 people in that place. And that's fan art too, technically. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Actually, this is more an overarching question, and we'll call this closer to the end. What do you think we should do to get the word out there about this? About what's happening to Stampede Entertainment? Because my whole thing is restore the Tremors saga.
Some people like think of Tremors as a cheesy movie. I'm like, no, this is a great movie. This is a great series that you should watch. And I'm amazed that actually I have some friends who love Tremors too, and were surprised that I make videos about it. And we're like, oh, I would love to watch your videos, and I add them on TikTok.
It's really cool.
It's hard to get the word. Well, it's not as hard to get the word out. We have the internet. It's just maybe like the way of doing it.
That's what I mean.
Sure.
Like how? Like I don't
videos and everything showing that Tremors is out there. That there's people who love Tremors as much as they do. That there's merchandise that they can buy from people. It's just hard to get it out there.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much stuff that Universal posts. Like they post their Jurassic Park stuff and all this other movie. They don't treat Tremors the same way. And it's up to the fans to do it, to show that Tremors is still out here doing what it can with what it's got. And one place I think would do great is that museum that I think it's in California that has Tremor stuff in it.
Oh, Lone Pine, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to visit that museum.
Oh.
Just get so many pictures of those Graboids and Shriekers. But it's hard to get stuff out there.
Yeah. Like I know the TikToks are going off. Like I can tell. Yeah, I know yours does good, and the Tremor Saga does pretty good.
I've seen that Tremor Saga has an Instagram. That's a good thing. That's one way of getting people's attention on there. Yep. There's the Facebook pages.
I think they're literally trying to do everything. Like that's where they're at. Just grab every single box.
I think we probably had a parade for Tremors. I think we'll probably get some more attention.
So a parade of Tremors?
Yeah, parade for Graboids.
Okay. I'm in. I'll dress up in an ass blaster costume. Let's do this. You can call me Messerschmitt. Let's go. Sorry.
Oh, man.
But no, it's hard to get the word out there. I'm with you on that. And letting people know, because everybody thinks that it's just a a cheesy movie franchise. Oh, why should I care? Tremors is dumb. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. I always have to point out that a lot of what Jurassic Park does happens because of Tremors.
Because of Tremors.
Like, I don't think people realize the timeline on that Tremors came first and set a lot of ground for how a monster movie can handle that tone. Yep. And the thing that I see people will be like, if I reboot Tremors, I'm going to take out the campiness. I'm going to take out the jokes.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And I always have to be like, no. It's that balancing act is what makes it Tremors. It is not. And there are some horror movie moments. Like, I love that scene in the first movie where the guy gets dragged down. It's absolutely terrifying, and I hate that scene. It's awesome. But then also, no, it's pretty fucking funny. Like, then you have Val and Earl doing what they do. Like that. I love that you point out Earl and Grady. And that Tremors TikTok, that is the best joke. I'm totally with them on that. The Tremors 2 joke. Because it shows to me that Tremors is all about writing. Like, you may not... when Brett and Steve wrote the first script, they did it for like 6 or 7 years. Like, legit.
Oh.
Like, wow. No, like, it was... They just couldn't get it sold, and they just rewrote and rewrote and rewrote. And they actually slowly took jokes out. They thought it had too many jokes, and they had to find that balance of like, well, we want the monsters to be scary, and we don't want to make fun of them, but we still want to have humor in it. And it's that balancing act. And I love in Tremors 2 when the radio goes down, and it's, you left the radio on the ground? Sorry, I forgot. And you laugh because it's a really funny. It's a great joke. It is funny. But I have to point out, a regular sci-fi movie is funny. But what makes Tremors is it goes the extra mile on a joke. It goes that extra. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, punch. That fourth punch is always the best one, which you can tell with the way that they do the splatter. Everything blows up, and we're peaceful. Smack. That one last one that you always get.
Yeah.
And for that, and then I keep distracting myself. But the radio goes down. Sorry, I forgot. And then later on, Grady is talking about his plan. And that's Tremors, is a plan. You always have to have a plan. If you're not using the word plan in a Tremors movie 18 times, you're not making the right kind of Tremors movie. And I tell people, what's a drinking game for Tremors? Plan. Every time they say plan, somebody says plan ahead, drink. Because get fucking wasted. And Grady is talking about vision, Earl. Vision is what separates the average from the... And it's literally the writers going like, oh yeah, you guys think that what we make are dumb, cheesy monster movies. Oh wait. I know that song. It's vision. It's literally vision, man. Vision is what separates Tremors from everything else.
Yeah, I remember some on one of the videos when I was celebrating Tremors' birthday. Someone commented, I think it was like that it was like Sharknado, and I'm like, pin of shame. Don't compare Sharknado to Tremors. No.
There's an extra on the Blu-ray. I actually had to download the Blu-ray because I can't play Blu-rays, so I had to pirate it. I don't blame people. But there's an extra on the Blu-ray of Nancy Roberts talking about how Tremors was made. And the creator of Sharknado, no joke, came up to her at a function once and was like, hey, I just want you to know that Tremors is what made me make Sharknado. And she was trying her absolute best to be polite even in the interview, and just like, that's great, but also shit. Oh man, like that. We didn't teach you any better. Oh, sorry. We failed you. Actually, that's on the Tremor Saga YouTube too. That's a video if you want to watch Nancy. But yeah, It's not. It's not Sharknado. It's not. If people will compare it to that, nope. Nope. It's the Starship Troopers of monster movies.
Oh,
it seems dumb.
Starship Troopers is another great one.
But it's secretly awesome. You ain't falling forever!
I heard something about, like, some of the guys worked on Tremors working on Starship Troopers.
They did. Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff, they reused the Streaker design for the arachnids.
I was wondering why I liked the arachnids so much.
Yeah.
It was because of the jaws.
And
because, like,
Phil Tippett, too.
Because everything has teeth. Nothing has...
the mandibles!
Beaks.
The mandible! I'm looking at your profile pic, and it's the mandibles. They set it apart, man. It makes something really foreign and old at the same time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Weirdly enough, when you put it up against dinosaurs, I always go, that's older. That's so much older. I don't know why, but that seems older to me. And scarier. Spookier.
Something about beaks is just way more better.
Yeah.
Because, like, with that part in Starship Troopers where that guy gets freaking destroyed. Yep. Right there.
Shit.
A big old chunk in your leg now.
Oh, I'm just thinking, yeah, it does. It's more visceral. Way scarier. We've all got teeth. We don't all have beaks. Reminds me of birds.
And it was great for the practical effects in the second movie when they get Julio.
Oh yeah.
On his leg. The beaks just make it so much better because, like, it just tells you, like, just how strong are these things' mouths to bite into someone like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of your imagination. Like you're like, whoa. That's not like regular teeth that rip and tear. Whoa, what the fuck is that? The pressure on that. Oh my god, whoa. Like it can rip steel? Oh no. Oh Jesus. Huh. Like you think of a crocodile and a shark and you're like, oh, teeth grab you, you're fucked. You look at that, you're like, that's not gonna be, oh my gosh, yes, that's terrifying. That's bad.
You're losing a limb after that.
Yeah, you're not.
Definitely losing a limb.
You're just dead.
I wonder, you think graboids and shriekers sharpen their teeth? Or, like, do you think what they eat sharpens their teeth?
You know what? I have no fucking clue.
Because
I mean,
there wasn't probably electronics back when they were alive, when, like, in the Precambrian era. But, like, with what they eat, like with metal and everything, you would think it would sharpen their beaks to cut into things. Because, like, we've seen when was it Old Fred that got
his head? Yeah,
his head is only there, like either it just decapitated him or.
And I always wonder the physics on that. How much of him is left under the ground, or if it's just that's where it stopped.
I don't even think he had. Did he have eyes?
He had eyes. No. I feel like they just cut the back of his head. I think you're right. Like it's sharp enough that it just cinches. I'm looking at your profile pics, and I'm trying to. The way that the beak seems, it's definitely that sharpness to it. And I was wondering, like, I think my best guess for it would be that because the evolution of the creature makes it so quick, like they eat, get big, turn into shriekers, make more, that, like, I think that it would have to be reinforced with how it was created. I don't think eating anything would sharpen it. I think it would have to be that strong anyway. Like, it reminds me of a bird. That's what I keep looking at it, like, up there, and I'm coming to how a bird does that. But they also have tiny rows of teeth. That's a great question. I'm gonna get back to you on that one.
I guess there's also the thing with I think shriekers have them too, but, like, in the bottom of the throat of the graboid, they have those teeth in there.
The spiky things, yeah.
Yeah, like, I guess that's to help grind up their food. Because that'd be another painful way to go. Because you're being swallowed, you're also being stabbed up by all those tiny teeth in its throat.
I always thought it held it in too, so that way the prey couldn't come out. It would just cinch it.
It's literally a bloodworm. You see those bloodworms?
Oh! Sorry, it took me a minute. Fuck those things! Bobbit worms?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
There's no escaping that.
No. Sorry. No. I've been seeing more videos of them because I think they're popping up more, and I would like to see less videos of those, please. I don't like those. There was one I saw. It was a leech worm that ate the other worm. And I never need to see that image again.
Yeah.
Never again. Never again. No, I'm just thinking about it. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. We really went the gamut. Do you have any more thoughts, Danielle? Daniel.
I don't think so. I think a lot of thoughts.
We really went there. That's why I was really excited to have you on. I know you have a great breadth of Tremors information, so it's good to be here with another fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. You could stay for the thank yous, and like I said, I'll lead on. I always like to let the guest have the last word, or you can leave now, and I can just thank you all by myself. It's totally up to you.
I'll stay in here.
All right. I forgot to write my list down, so I'm gonna just go from memory because it's. I was gonna say, if you've listened to my podcast, you know I try to thank everybody that I can.
Yeah, I wish I wrote a list myself.
No, I do. I need to write a list almost every week because I just go through and that person on Facebook said something, that person on Reddit said something, that person on Twitter said something. Actually, I can't even use Reddit anymore. No joke, dude. I got permabanned from Reddit for talking Tremors.
Seriously?
I can't. I have been on Reddit for 10 years. If you're on Reddit, go to the Omegan Smiles, Omegan Smiles, and check out my profile. I am banned, and it fucking pisses me off. I can't even. And it happened a week before Burt Gummer Day.
Oh.
And I was just like,
it's horrible.
Fuck a bunch of everything. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. So if you're on Reddit and you would like to share any of these facts or anything, please share the fuck out of it. Reddit actually does a whole bunch. I was always surprised when it did happen. Reddit was where you get shit done for that, because you can reach a whole bunch of people at once. And, like, one of my Reddit posts ended up becoming somebody else's TikTok video. That one with Burt Gummer and the guns, the firearm safety one. That was one of my best posts that I did on Reddit, and it was so good that somebody else on TikTok ended up using it, and they made a video out of it or whatever. Got like 5 million views.
Yeah.
I was a little upset.
I know which one you're talking about too.
The one with the guns. Yeah, it's Alan Sy on TikTok that did it, and he's got a YouTube channel. And I was a little like, damn it, no credit, but I'm just happy someone's talking about Tremors. That was 5 million views for Tremors. Cool. Actually, I got to tell Steve Wilson too. I'm always talking to him on email and stuff, and he was really like, "Oh, that's so like we tried so hard to do that. That's really good to see that that's getting the credit it deserves."
I was actually surprised when you came to me about that too. When you messaged me, like, "Hey, did you know SS Wilson has seen your videos?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I had to. Oh man, dude, I had to tell him.
I was like, at first I'm like, this guy's pranking me or something. There's no way this guy. There's no way SS Wilson has seen my stuff.
He's seen it and he likes it.
I'm like, okay, you've seen my stuff.
No, he's seen it and he likes it. That was the like. It was a definite. I don't have to understand this to know that it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I had, like I said, I had to tell him. That was just so cool. Just because you've done so much work for that, man. Like I said, if you're listening to this, go to TikTok, check out TikTok Graboid, Daniel Trujillo. because it is really cool. Like, you do a really good job, man. You and Zoran Gavojic, you got that funny, informative thing both down. So
thank you.
I know you're probably like, no, what, Zoran? I can't be. No. Trust me, man. You're there.
I know everyone tells me like Zoran from Dead Meat, right?
Yeah.
Should watch the videos. I'm like, oh, you guys are so nice.
He should. No, well, I'm gonna have him on. Like, he's gonna be on an episode of this.
Nice.
And you can bet your sweet ass that now I'm gonna be telling him to fucking watch him. That Ballad of Burt Gummer was a great video too. That's what I mean. Like, you have the same. I have to say, you have the same ideas. You're all in the same space. So yeah, that's. I'll thank you to Daniel. Thank you, Daniel Trujillo, the TikTok Graboid.
Thanks for having me here.
You've been so welcome, man. This has been so cool. I love tremming out with people. Thank you to Baby Fark McGeezax on Imgur. He just did he did 336 GIFs of Burt Gummer from Tremors the series. All because I love Tremors the series, and I kept begging him to make more GIFs of Tremors the series for Burt Gummer Day. So I was so happy. He was about to do the 4th movie, but I was like, no, that's not Burt. That's Hiram. I'll do that. You give me some more Burt GIFs. In intergalactic quality. That's what, like, he does the Burt GIFs and I do all the other ones because he's just got it covered.
Yeah, I thought about putting Hiram in the Burt Gummer video, but then I'm like, no, that wouldn't make any sense. That's Hiram. That's his grandfather.
No! It's what I don't like about the montage at the end of 7 is they put Hiram in the montage!
Yeah.
And there's not a single instance of Burt from the TV show. That's where I always watch that. I think he dies. I always watch. Did Michael Gross die? Did I miss it?
I had to look that up too.
Did Michael Gross die? And I missed every time I watch it. Even when I know, it's still like, well, I gotta make sure, double check. Maybe he died while I was watching this movie again. But that montage, I hate it. They should really take it out. That's Universal, if you're listening to this podcast, please, for the love of God, take that fucking montage out of that movie and re-release it. And maybe we'll be fine with it. But as is, it's bullshit. So yeah, thank you, Baby Fark McGeezax. I love you, bro. Thank you to the Stampede team, Steve Wilson, Bob Wilson, Michelle Wilson, for all the lost tapes. Thank you to Brett Maddock and Glenn Maddock. Thank you to Nancy Roberts and Ron Underwood. These guys are all still working too, actually. They're trying to pitch a movie right now. So cross our fingers and then knock on the wood and we might get some more Stampede movies or something.
Or cross your tongue.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. Thank you to Kevin Collins on Twitter. Thank you to Kevin Smith and Jeff Johnson from the Sons and Shadows podcast. Thank you to Harley Smith too. Always love you guys. Thank you to... Oh, I should have written these down. Son of a bitch. I knew this would happen. Thank you to the We Have Issues podcast. Especially thank you to Anthony LaFucci, who's going to be on a later episodes. Thank you to, always, Jonathan Melville. Thank you for this wonderful book. Go buy Seeking Perfection. I say it every episode, but go do it, folks. Also on that note, go buy Steve Wilson's books. Tucker's Monster, Puppets and People. Please do. We get more great Stampede stuff when you do. Do it. Do it now. Don't buy Tremors 5 through 7. I beg you. Go watch the TV show. Don't buy anything. That's how we do this. Because it's bullshit. Honestly, if you're on Twitter and you're interacting with Tremors, I'm just going to thank you. There's so many fucking people, and you're all amazing. I literally just can't go through. It's just fucking a ton of you. A ton of you. Thank you all. Thank you to the Cult of Odd podcast. Thank you to the Measuring the Score podcast. Shit. Oh, thank you to Two Idiots and a Dog podcast. Oh, thank you to Gladys Jimenez, going to be on an episode later. Thank you to Octavio San Juan Lopez, who's writing the Spanish version of the Tremors Guide. I don't know if you know about that, but that's going to be cool. He got to interview Michael Gross and Don Michael Paul too. Thank you to Zoran Gavojic because you're awesome. Oh, if you play Call of Duty, there's a Tremors mod run by LoJack. Check it out on the Discord. If you ever see a link tree for the Tremors Saga, there's a Discord in there. Follow it. If you ever see a link, fucking click links, people. For the love of God, that's why they're put there. Click fucking links. Retweet and click links. Thank you to my family. My dad, my mom, my pappy, my sister Lacey, Sean Day, Sean Trell, Samaje, and Shamar. Thank you to my wife, Caitlin Marie Lutt Burzloff. For being there all the time. I love you. Fuck you, Universal. Daniel, you got any last words?
I'd like to thank my family too. My grandpa, my mom, my dad, my siblings, brothers, sister, nieces and nephews, my grandma, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends. Hope everyone is able to listen and enjoy this podcast.
Cool. I'll edit it. That's the end. That's it. And I'll press that. Booyah.